has to be factored if he really accepts his role in BREN. Not only that, he's such a hard worker, knowing the lineups, really focusing on the Brim and the Omen for the team. And honestly, for one other thing that Humi has been able to do in the Philippine scene, he was also part of that extremely dominant Adroit Esports squadron, which was the precursor to BREN Esports. So you already know he has such a winning track record in the Philippine scene, and I wouldn't have been surprised to have him added to the roster in the first place. But here we are already. Borkum finds the level, but Silver is there. The two duelists of Empire striking at Borkum already, but one will go down along the way.
It's going to be a 1-for-1. Still some value because that's a two-man pushing in onto the A short, and Borkum still got some kills there, which means that it's pretty obvious 4 versus 4 for the moment. Can see that Empire Esports is going to be congregating a lot more outside of A, but slowly but surely, they are trying to maybe find some stragglers, maybe onto the mid. They know they have to find some angles here, but BREN Esports is just holding their own. Now, is that Jesse Vash? Yes, Jesse Vash is just going to be playing at the back of a market just to kind of get that information. He is setting up an arrow as well. Without that information anymore on mid, they might be looking at B here. And once the smokes are popped out, you know it's the B take.
Yeah, here we go. The Spencer going to be holding into the shed. Jesse Vash looking to line up a shock dart real quick. And Empire Esports now going to go for the push. Quick little dash on it, but look at that damage onto both the Jet and the Brimstone. This is going to be Empire falling on the part as Spencer finds the angle onto 2. Next, he will go down after Silver. And here comes BREN. Good molly, though, to get in the way, but is it enough? No, Dispenser dispenses 1, 2, 3, and 4. A quad kill for the Killjoy to start things off.
This is why these guys are on top as of the moment. You think, you hear, you know people are going to be coming out B main, running up onto lane, onto the site immediately, but Dispenser holds his own. They don't peek him. They don't even know that he's there. And this is why they got just picked off one by one, because they didn't know, because they got the door shut down. But once that smoke dissipated, he was like, surprise, I'm here. Dispenser, like you said, dispenses multiple targets already. And honestly, that should have been just him flushed out, but he got some value with just holding a couple of seconds before challenging the plan.
I mean, 2 of those already low, and look at this. Jesse Vash with 4 assists on the board. The Silva really hitting critical shots in that push. But here comes quickly Zach Paint Shells, and Dubstep could be able to get through so far. Humi there to catch out the level as well. There's a push from BREN, and they want to make this round very, very quick. Let's leave Silver all alone with the Sheriff. But Mr. Asrai, look at the roster right now. BREN actually decided, okay, we know that Empire Esports can play a very mean post-plan situation. So they are going to be playing a very defensive favored composition wherein they have that Raze as their duelist. It's good for the entry on the attack, sure, but it's so good also for holding off with the Paint Shells. You have the Breach of Borkum to really contend, but Empire in the meantime, they do feel like they need to be quicker against BREN, and that is why they brought out the Jet and the Reyna instead.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try to do something here by force, and that's why, like I said, you are gonna be seeing those particular duelists. Now Dispenser is gonna be going with the big flanks already, and you bring a knife to a gunfight, and Dispenser just immediately takes care of Silver. Of course, that was just the weaker buy for Empire here, since they do need that economy. Now they'll be able to buy up. So maybe this time Dax is going to be the first try for the Empire squadron. But like you said, having that Killjoy, having that Sova, I don't think there's going to be a fast enough, what's the word for this, surprise factor for Empire, because Turret's going to spot you, Recon Dart's going to spot you, Sova Drone is going to spot you. So how are they going to be able to maneuver through all of that info gathering abilities and just catch off BREN? That's going to be, of course, up for Empire to try to do something, and it seems like it's going to be the mid-take, or at least mid-congregation for them to maybe get that map control.
And not only that, they have abilities that can really cut through the map. You have Borkum there on the breach and get those wall lines to connect. And of course, some Raze lineups might be good here for Dubstep if he finds the angle in the first place. Jesse Vash, though, Aries in hand. And here for BREN Esports for now, they are just looking to seed mid and play on the sites instead. Closing down the door, though, and you can actually do this here on Ascent. If you feel like your site holds are better than just trying to contest that middle, then it will work out for you, as Empire is trying to push into the Cubby. Stiletto, though, trying to play the entry here, says hello to the turret, sees the side of Borkum there, beautiful flash into the peak. Dispenser will get that takedown, and BREN Esports already taking one down.
That timing is just immense coming in from them. Dispenser does get taken down, but he did activate his Nine Swarm just in time, as well as this Molly to stop the A-Short people from pushing in, which does pincer the members of Empire Esports. Still, they were able to push through because one was able to well, just get that control on A main. That was Nexi. He gets 2 kills, and now they open up the A side. Back to the 2 versus 2. jcstani does have the Aries, so the long range might not up to his favor. Let's see if he can make this work out as he is using his abilities while waiting for Dubstep to come in from the short area. He's going to have to maybe back away, get that information. Dubstep does use his boom bot there, and they should know that they're coming in from 2 angles.
Yeah, and the Aries, he had that Recon Dart trying to go for wall bounce. If ever, Silver with a beautiful headshot onto 2. And already, Empire Esports saying, you know, second place is not enough for them, especially for Silver. He wants to go gold. He wants to be able to get the win, and he has really stepped up his game all throughout the playoffs.
Speaking of stepping up their game, one person, I think Illustrato was the one who mentioned this to me yesterday, that Nexi has been, like, he's not a flashy dude.
Yes, sir.
To say it the least, but his ability to read opponents, similar to how I described Spencer, is phenomenal. Like, he can just lurk and get the kills that he needs. His positioning is also, you know, amazing. And that that push that he did on A main got 2 kills, which opened up the A side. Granted, you know, Silver got the nice little clutch at the end of the round, but that was only possible because Nexi opened up the A side, which also allowed Empire Esports to get that functionality, or sorry, to get that opportunity to get on to the side itself.
I mean, that's what we saw yesterday in the semifinals between Empire and Mira. Nexi was the one who opened that second bind, but right now, Humi's the one who defends A2 impunity. Nexi and Stiletto will go down, even though you can rely on your Sentinel here for Empire to actually try and open it up, but against BREN Esports, it might be too much to handle, and it really has been Humi stepping up his game also. It really just goes to show here, Mr. Astray, that all the changes that these teams have brought to Valorant Challengers Philippines have been working out for them.
Agreed, very, very much. There's so much that they've done, not only with the roster changes, but I'm pretty sure I said this yesterday, they have, or they only do scrims with international teams, and international teams that have high position, high rankings in the overall C region as well. So BREN do have that kind of understanding and edge that you just don't see with other Filipino teams here. Granted, of course, everybody's going to play catch-up, and BREN still has to deal with the talents that we have here in the Philippines, but in terms of those strategies, in terms of understanding each other and what they have to do in each and every second, BREN got this. Poised, though, still able to get the 1-up on the Silver, and it's just going to be the mowdown on A short, taking them down, and now BREN Esports is that 3-1.
Not just once, but twice. Borkum shrugging off bullets says, you know, I'm gonna flash you, you know, I'm gonna go up to these rafters, and I'm gonna be good to take you down. Borkum looking pretty much to be Mr. Immortal, even though he's already died twice here. BREN Esports, though, being led by Dispenser and Dubstep. Yet again, these guys so reliable, and I'm really liking what I see here from Dispenser. He has that lockdown, and if BREN Esports decides to choose to play retake, then they have that quick little circle, that Dome of Doom, to encircle and encompass Empire Esports.
Now, something I've kind of been wondering here for Empire is the past 2-3 rounds, they've been kind of challenging A main way too often, Dax, and more so than not, they've died. They've lost 1 or 2 members. That's not really what you want to see happening, especially when Humi just keeps popping up that one-way smoke on A main. I don't understand why Empire are going to be challenged ever so often. Maybe because they do have the duelists, like you said, they're going to be trying to maybe get the catch-off. They have that mobility with the Rated Smiths and the Tailwind, but if it's going to happen for like too many rounds, it's costing Empire a couple of rounds here as well. Granted, though, they did win a couple, just the 1, but it's still not going to be enough. Now, I wasn't sure if I did see Empire buy, but for the moment, oh, they're not? Okay, so they're just playing a little bit slow here onto the A short, but they also got to be careful because a Brim Molly is possible just to stop them in their tracks.
Oh, Mido does get rid of Draxi, but Silver with that Blade Storm. This can actually allow Empire to get the gun there by the Gardens, but instead, they're going to try to fortify with a turret there. Spike now going to get planted. Empire Esports looking to plant the first seeds on a site. But look at the lineups here from Jesse Batch, looking to mow down whoever's still by the Generator or that double box. But the Aldron will now say hello. This is Brendo trying to peek before they go on in. That's the lockdown now into play. That's why just left that Crimson all alone. But counter lockdown, I believe, into play. Hunter's Fury have to try and catch it out from the side of Empire. Showstopper though, and Dubstep finds Bat goes there. Even takes down Silver. The push right now from Bren. Will it actually make it in time? Oh no, the classic! Not enough firepower, but there's still one guy remaining with Bren having a gun out. Borkum running on around. Does Bren have enough time to defuse Empire with the lineup? This is what we're talking about all throughout the series of Empire Esports, but no, even if Nexi does get rid of Borkum, it's little too late. Dubstep will get the 4K to wrap it up, and these two teams showing how smart they can be.
That is the one annoying thing that you have to kind of put into the equation. Whether you're a Brimstone, whether you're a Viper, whether in this situation you're a KJ, the Killjoy, sorry, your what's called this, the trajectory speed or the speed that the molly travels is way too slow. So you have to be faster in setting up that lineup, or it's not going to work out for you. He saw that only 2 players were detained, so that means that 1 is still going to be able to challenge. So trying to get the kills on those 2 detained players on Bren would not be beneficial, but still. I think there might have been a little bit of lag time there in the brain of Nexi that just said to him, what am I going to do here? And the setup was just a bit too slow. Dubstep again challenging the one-way, not working in the favor of Empire.
This is the thing. Empire a while ago, they threw that Nano Swarm, but Brent has already started the defuse. Borkum was ready to put his foot down and get rid of the spike on A side. Great pick off though here from BREN Esports. And this is the thing. We saw from Empire last time as Dubstep actually catches out Thraxi there. Really, this Ray is looking nigh unstoppable. What we saw from Empire was a defense, I'll say defense-centric duelist duo here on the during the semifinals. As Dubstep, he just wraps things up here on A-Main, doesn't he, with 3 kills. But yeah, they played the Phoenix and the Raze last time against Chimera because they felt like they needed to hold the sites more. They need to use that utility to actually get on site. This time, though, they know against Bren, they have to be very quick, but still not working. It's only the Jets and the Silver left. Batgo is going to be sticking on the round alongside Silver. Do they get the angles? Because BREN Esports, not only do they have that Orbital Strike, but they also have that Rolling Thunder. Really good ultimates for B sites.
And that's why you're seeing Batgos just push out right now, because playing in the back of site is basically suicidal. He's just going to be flushed out here, a couple of flashes here and there, and he's not going to be able to provide to try to push for that clutch because there's so much utility. Orbital Strike was already expended at the back of the B side, and Batgos was like, crap, how am I going to be able to do this with 4 members of BREN coming in forward? Front, back, left, and right. There's just too many angles for me to deal with. And as a Sova, it's not really going to happen unless he gets maybe 1 or 2 kills in just a span of very quick seconds. And it didn't happen. So BREN, again, just surgical retake on that B site.
It's good to see the Brimstone here on Ascent. Back in the day when Brimstone was just kind of a weak pick in general, the only time you'd see him on a map like this would just to be lasered down that B site. But here we are, both Humi as well as Draxi knowing what they can do with those mollies. But Empire Esports struggling against BREN right now. The Titans of the Philippine scene proving how strong they can be with a 5-1 scoreline as we do get into a pause. But what do you think here, Mr. Asa? It really feels like BREN is just so on point with the rotations and with the speed. They help each other out every single time.
For BREN, nothing much to comment about that. They've just been, again, just doing BREN things. They're able to just, like you said, communicate very quickly and just rotate in the nick of time to be able to stop Empire in their tracks. Now, Empire, at least for the time that we've seen them in the playoffs in Ascent, have been better on the defending side rather than on the attacking. So maybe once they swap out the rounds or swap out the sides here, this is when we're going to see them start to pop off. Of course, that's not an excuse for them to keep losing the attacking side here, so they have to make something happen. One of the things that they've done while there's a little bit of shooting happening in front of you guys is that you saw that last round, they were selling a lot of fakes on A main, which kind of worked out in the end. But when you're gonna be expending it with Stiletto, who is on Arena, who's such an important agent for clutch position, clutch plays, it's not the best of things to have. And you saw that having only Silver and Batghost there was not enough firepower, so they have to try to sell with something else and maybe allow Stiletto to try to clutch.
Orbital Strike though already by defense side. Draxi burning down the Spencer, and Nexi comes close enough to get rid of 2. Lane control here from Nexi, holding off the opposition yet again. 4v2 right now. And the question is, how will BREN Esports play this out? It seems like they do still have that showstopper available. Already a flank here from Dubstep. Humi though, breaking the dart real quick. These angles, though, being held by Empire will be very dangerous for BREN to try and siege on in. You can see the Rages now to go for the save, but Silver now gonna be peeking just to die. Dubstep with that takedown. Nexi still there by a lane. Humi actually picking out Draxi, and BREN says, sure, you can have this point, you can have this round, but we will try to take your lives. Back goes though with that takedown. Dubstep will clean up house, and BREN Esports will say mutually assured destruction. Would go again, but everyone has to be dead.
You just spelled mad.
I mean, that's the acronym, sir.
Really? Yeah. Oh, I did not know that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, they just shut down the lid on any members of Empire here. They're gonna try to escape the B site. So it's a very expensive round for both of these teams. But you know, BREN, since they got like 3 straight rounds, they got money to buy for days. kind of the same thing for Empire here. They will be able to buy, but you can see that they're going to be struggling the next round if they do keep losing for the moment. Now, again, question is, are they going to challenge the A main? Look at that, nobody even peeking it. Maybe they're just going to leave Nexy's turret there for the most part, but it's going to be the mid control as Borkum is playing keep away on that A short. He's going to be trying to go aggressive into this one, but Stiletto is there to the party to stop Borkum from making anything happen anymore in that particular area.
I love that from Empire. They were going for the crossfire, and basically wherever Borkum would go, unless he was hiding in the cubby itself, he would be dead in the water. Gotta give the Nexy though from that last round. Great lane hold. Silver though opening it up. Dispenser says hello to Batco, who's busy playing with his drone. And the Killjoy will be breaking whatever the Sova's toys have in the first place. 2v4 situation though yet again. And this is where Empire can really pick it up. Nexy though finds Umi. Beautiful pick off there onto A side. And Nexy finding his momentum to really open things up yet again. His patience is unparalleled right now on that Sentinel. That's from what we've seen here. And this is going to be Empire putting it down on A site.
And the beauty of this one is that they basically left Dispenser to try to clutch everything. Get spotted, they know where he is. He's gonna try to deal with this one. Dispenser awakens through the eye, flicks to the head of Stiletto, and well, basically shuts him up and says, even through that flash, I am still gonna be able to bash. Oh my goodness, Dispenser. I don't think he's going to be able to clutch, but that was just a nutty shot coming in from him. Now there is going to be one popping outside on top of, top mid here as Draxi is looking to pincer in. Now Dispenser is getting hunted down like the dog that he is, but can or will they try to do that because they've got no money, and now Dispenser, he gets a taste of his own medicine. It's his time to have his knife out in a gunfight.
Yeah, back to the pound he goes, and this is going to be BREN Esports losing 2 in a row. Empire Esports, they do take a bit of a while on the first map to get their momentum up and running, but it seems like they are seeing stride here and now. Nexy though, doing an amazing job yet again. Back in the day, at the early parts of Empire Esports, he was the one who could rely on to flex on over, not only play the Sentinels like this, he also played Controller, he also played Sage, he also played Duelist as well. And he has really been such a core component of this Empire Esports roster. But the thing is, BREN has done a good job to shut down Stiletto and more or less make it a more average game here for Silver. Dubstep though whipping out the operator, and we already know what kind of indication this is from BREN. It's Dubstep's time to shine and snipe everyone in these lanes.
That's the scary thing about that one, though, is Dubstep already can hit these shots, and coupled with the Sova drone from Jesse Vash, it's just even more difficult because he gets that information of where he needs to look when he, kind of just sets things up with his crosshair. And that's a scary, scary thing. Now, there is going to be a lot of challenges coming out here. If you don't have a flash, Dubstep will get an easy shot. Borkum does try to challenge with his flash there. Now he knows he can one out, and he does connect. Here comes the showstopper. Kumbaya. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hit. But Dubstep is still taking control on this B main with the bomb, or the spike rather, spotted out.
Yeah, 4v3 right now. Gotta give it to Dubstep. He whipped out that showstopper because if anyone pushes him, he's not on that jet anymore. He needs to find a way to kill them immediately. But really smart there from Empire, expecting the rocket launcher to come, and they will back on out just a little bit more and retrieve the spike instead. Now the journey is over to A site. Silver saying, let's go on a picnic, let's move to the tree area, let's go over to the gardens. But someone is watching, saying there are no picnics allowed, no fun allowed here. Borkum will get that shut down, but Nexy with the refrag along the way. Umi though has been doing a good job here on A site. This time, don't be flicking to the wall, and Nexy will take the opportunity to get that takedown instead. Spike though gonna get planted, 2v2 situation, and Bad Ghost gonna be trying to go on the inside. He finds the flag onto Dubstep, which leaves Jesse Bash all alone in a 1v1 slate. Nexy though throwing everything he can and more. Lockdown gonna get broken. Nexy doesn't get the time to actually go for the peek behind the generator. There we go with the shot, and Nexy is just next level right now. Empire Esports has to thank this guy for keeping the Empire alive.
Nexy is a monster. That just put it in like a tag on an article or something already, because he is single-handedly clutching these rounds, opening up sites, being able to push rounds for Empire even when he is playing on a Sage. You don't see that every day, but when you do, you know it's Nexy. That was just phenomenal coming in from him. He was at 11 HP if I'm not mistaken, but also kudos to Bad that goes. For being able to sneak through, he knew dubstep was on his left there, but he went for the full spray control because he wanted to punish Jesse Vash as he was trying to rotate. Granted, he did not get though, but that 1-for-1 definitely allowed genghsta to do what he needed to give the round for Empire.
He just really bought so much time, and it got a bit dicey because genghsta could have actually gotten rid of Jesse Vash there while he was breaking that lockdown. But hey, the shot still connects. genghsta's on fire, and we see it again here from Empire Esports, tanking the Killjoy for everything he's done and more. Advantage now for Empire Esports. They have the one-man up in a round. They can tie up the scoreline. Stiletto finding confidence, and you know, this has been a big tenet of Empire Esports. When one pops off, everyone starts popping off. They just feed off each other's energy, like genghsta has been feasting on Humi here on A side. Here we go again for Empire Esports. They have really turned it around, and many have said if they were going to be taking a map away from BREN, it might be this one, as Silver even finds Jesse Vash. Look at how much time Empire has to juggle around that spike, get some ultimate points on some of the other members, which now leaves Borkum all alone by the walkway. Will he see one more? That's Stiletto there, gonna get flicked, but Stiletto able to crouch on down and get that takedown. Empire is tying up the game here, Asarai.
That was a weaker buy for BREN for sure, but the surgical attack that Empire did use to just get the control on mid, get the one shutdown with Stiletto in the forefront there, really open things up. And like you said, Dax, they are bringing it around town. They're bringing it around town as it seems like we are neck and neck. And from the looks of it, are we on a tactical pause? It's not popping up just yet, but I think they are.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah,
no,
I can hear it. Yeah, never mind. It was just taking too long. The round just like, debated me a little bit.
Sometimes time stands still.
That's true.
Usually those are situations where you're a bit scared about something, you're waiting for something. We're trying to hit that shot, but dubstep hits the shot there onto Draxi. Hunter Fury into play. Dispenser finds one more, and really that's so incredible here from BREN because they're being proactive with the Hunter Fury just like that. They peek the angles where someone can hide. Silver though inside the smoke catches out Borkum, and here we go with BREN Esports, so pretty much throwing their advantage away. It's now 3v3 after all is said and done. Lockdown available here for BREN. Bladestorm ready for Empire. We'll see who can actually get pushed on. Dispenser and genghsta gonna be trading blows, and apparently now it's gonna be a 2v2.
But there is genghsta already, I would say, crippled here, so there's not much that he can really do, but rather just support Silver. And this big flank coming in from Humi might put Empire in a bad state, in a disadvantageous state, as he is already in a nice little angle on top mid. He's waiting. Can he hear the footstep? I think he does. And he was able to pass through the turret. They might not even suspect he's going to be here because genghsta doesn't have his weapon out, or is he going to peek to the left? Oh, this is going to be detrimental. And Humi spots it out. That's going to be the drop on the spike, but he might actually get spotted out by Silver as well. That's going to be the 1-2-1. 25 seconds left onto that clock, and it's going to be the run all the way to the A side, or does Silver know that Jesse Vash is there to challenge him?
Time is taking head-to-head time, and Jesse Vash Silver getting a gun down, but Jesse Vash a bit too quick on the flick, on the hit, and Vash will reign supreme here as BREN Esports will be able to be one up. But man, oh man, did you see how the Hunter Fury was just used there by BREN Esports? Even though Vash didn't really get any kills, it's like, hey, can you quickly check that corner for me? Thank you very much. And he has 9 assists in this game just because of plays like that.
That was not a random Hunter's Fury just to try to spot things out. They got Hunter's Fury lineups. They got, like you said, scouting out with your teammates and trying to flush things out. And everybody, of course, does not want to get it by the Hunter's Fury. So everybody's dodging. Everybody's in a precarious position. And there you see BREN was peeking out. Now, the one thing that allowed Empire to be able to still win this round out while everybody was still alive there, or while most of them were alive, was that BREN was a little bit, I would say, predictable with how they pushed out. Dispenser and Borkum going for that pincer play, both on B main and A short, was predicted by Empire, and that peek out from Silver, as well as the shutdown, I think, by one of the members of Empire on Dispenser really did help him out. Now, Dubstep throws out a nade, does soften up a couple of the members here, and they cannot defend this A short area, but at least the smoke will give them a little bit of leeway, a little bit of space, as Empire still has a lot of utility to work with, as well as that lockdown, and of course, Stiletto, now the battle boss music with that Empress.
Yeah, he wants to be a raid boss here, and now 3 ultimates for both sides. The lockdown's into play, and I believe we are going to see it again here, Mr. Asarai. Venn diagrams built on the map, and Dubstep going to be playing by the doorway. Attacking Killjoy losing the lockdown already. Defense will be trying to go for the hit. There's a detain, and there's the damage being done. It seems like for BREN Esports, it's all getting on the wide side. It's all about to clear, and they just push on and wiping out Empire Esports, trying to hide in the corner. Well, next he gets to, it's not enough time to try and fight back, and BREN Esports will corner Empire right now, make their territory even smaller, and swap over to the attack.
We need to ask a quick replay there as we have ourselves a little bit of 40-second break for this second half switching, because that was so quick. I honestly thought that Empire had everything set up into the motion, but for the most part, there was, again, I believe, BREN having the lockdown positioning to force everybody to go to wine, and then while Humi and Dispenser was alive, there was like 3 circles of mollies, 2 nano swarms, and the molly itself from the brimstone that they will get flambéed in. So here we go. Yeah, see, they were all put up there, and there was a lineup yesterday that we saw from BREN that they put on wine, and it just flambéed everybody, and that was what happened here again today. Thank you so much for the production for that as well.
I just gotta say that both Empire and BREN, these 2 teams know how to line it up on Ascent.
Yeah.
Empire is really impressed from what we've seen so far in this map. BREN, in the meantime, I've heard a few reports of a bit of discomfort in scrims on Ascent, but they still know their homework. Vash, knowing the lineups, Humi doing a really good job, very hardworking player, learning those mollies, and of course, for Dispenser, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna toss that nano swarm there. I already know it's gonna hit, and you can really see it's still confidence for BREN Esports coming into this map. Alarm bot will say hello as Dispenser gets the start, and Batco is gonna be going on down. Empire right now gonna be losing one already by the market. It's all up to BREN for this mid control, and with mid control Asteroid comes choices, and that choice can be a power to go onto A site.
That's really good because nobody is going to be prepared to go for this one. It's all going to be looking towards to the market. The door is going to be closed, but it's only going to stop BREN for a smidge of a second here. Stiletto, he's looking for the timing. He knows that somebody's right behind him. Can he dispense? Borgum, not going to happen. And it's all left into the hands of Silver. He does have a frenzy and a dream, but this weapon is not good in a pistol fight, especially when we have 5 opponents to try to deal with. Going to peek to the left. There is a turret there. He's dashing away, and they know now where he is. And run, Silver, run. Yippee-ki-yay. As now the little peeks from Borgum, the stun as well, and he is in no man's land. Peekaboo, I see you. Dispenser gets 3, and that is 8-5 in favor of BREN.
8-5 indeed. BREN Esports taking that pistol, and looking at these 2 lineups, Mr. Asarai, it really feels like it's not about the post-match situation. It's about that plan. So this is something we were talking about from the past few days, especially that these teams know the lineup so well.
Yeah.
If you have a full roster on the attacking side, who have not used their utilities, and they get the free plant on the site, it is just going to be so hard to defuse that thing. You have the molly, you have the shock darts, you have Nano Swarm, you can even add in pain shells and even the blastbacks and even the fold line here from BREN Esports. So really, Empire is on a timer every single round on the defense. They need to be quick. That's why they want to be running that Jet Brain composition set as Borkum catches out Nexi. But maybe, what if they ran that Phoenix and Raze instead to try and hold off the opposition? It's a lot of questions right now that need to be answered by Empire, but the biggest thing they really need to do right now is to get some picks against BREN.
The thing about that is, since they do have this duelist comp pickups rather that they are using on the defense side, the thing that they really have to do right now is try to set up these crossfires and peek outs. But BREN knows this. That one peek out from Nexi, it's kind of obvious already to BREN. Nexi has impeccable timing with his pushouts, but BREN is just burning the time so that Nexi tries to do something. And they're peeking out these corners one by one. There's no chance that Empire is going to be the sneak one in, and BREN is just forcing their hand to go onto the A side, and Vash even spots a couple. Maybe if they take down Vash, they can pick up this Phantom and use it to clutch the round. But he is just feeling so good right now. Even whips out the Classic just for a little bit. And he was able to get through that angle, but Silver takes him out. That's going to be the Phantom, but already Dubstep is on the case.
Silver's lethality with any gun, with even just knives out, is unquestionable. He is an amazing player here for Empire, really stepping it up time to time again. But then again, it's Jesse Vash just knowing exactly what to do. He hasn't lit up the scoreboard, honestly. He had like about 2 kills for quite a while, now he's 5. But the 11 assists are such a big deal here for BREN esports because Borkum hasn't really popped off in the way that we expect him from the breach. This was a problem last time they played off against Atlas, I believe, because with Borkum going down, there is no real help with the fault lines, with the rolling thunders. There have been times where Borkum has been felled pretty early on into the fight. That's why his scoreline isn't the best, but it really has just been step-up games from all of BREN so far that they really don't need the extra utility anymore. But hey, flashpoints are always helpful. Dispenser will get that takedown. Look how these lineups work. And Silver bumps into Batghost, but Batghost actually gets a shock dart onto Dubstep. In all of that chaos, in all of those fluttered movements, it's Empire falling on apart. They did get 1 kill, but BREN esports is just rampaging and stampeding. It seems like we are going to be looking to see this Empire tumble on down back to the ground if BREN esports keeps this up.
You say that Borkum wasn't able to do, you know, much with his
with
his breach, and then it's like this like 3 flashes that
Yeah.
basically flushes out Stiletto that forces Silver and Batghost to try to run onto the site, and they're like, "Yeah, Dax, be a little bit quiet there, because we hear you, man, we hear you."
That's the thing. That's the fun thing about casting sometimes. You point something out, and they immediately prove you wrong.
Exactly.
Granted, this was the Flashpoint gameplay that Borkum is known to do. He is amazing at flashes time and time again. We saw it first in Breach, then we saw it on the Phoenix. It's funny because, you know, Breach, you set it up, Phoenix, he knocks it down and flashes. And we have seen it also this playoffs with the Sky. If Flash is your game, Borkum is your man. And BREN esports right now up by 5. Empire esports in the meantime, they need to shake things off because Nexi, Silver stepping it up. The rest of the team right now having a tough game.
Tough, definitely an understatement here. Silver, he just wanted to try to spot one out. He does even bring Dispenser to 39, but Dispenser is so on point with his shots. He's not going to miss, and he's just going to be able to win those duels. There is, like, these type of aggressive plays from Empire, these are not really, how do I say this, like risk. That's not the word I'm looking for. Anyways, I'm going to get back to you on that one. BREN is going to be rotating to A here as they do get a couple of kills on short, on market, on B main. And they're like, we basically flushed everybody out. Let's just go for a quick, clean little A take here while we still do have this overdrone. And it was doing a 360 for such a long time. And you know they got some information. They're just going to take it. And Dubstep is going to clear A heaven.
Yeah, they're just snowballing out of control. And this is the thing about BREN esports. They're the best team for a reason. They've done their homework. They get the job done. But the one thing they have over the local scene is when they snowball, it is just unparalleled. Look at that, a team ace. When do you see that? It just means that every single person of BREN esports right now has taken down a member of Empire, which just basically hurts Empire even more. But here we go. It's Empire's time to bring out the operator. We always say there's a tale of 2 Empires, one with the rifles, one with the op. And Silver gonna be looking for the picks. All eyes on Silver here coming into this round. Does BREN read it properly? Will they notice that it is going to be Empire on the ropes to whip at that operator? Or will they walk in the sidelines of the Jet? We'll find out as we get into the next round.
This is risky though, because he's gonna go with the naked op. It's glass cannon operator. You know, it's 2 terms, same meaning. He doesn't have shield. He doesn't have armor. Draxi, run for your life. Let's see if you got the electric boogaloo, as he's gonna be able to actually just dance away from the ultimate of Jesse Vash, and he even uses his Molotov just to stop them in the track. Sorry, Molly is the correct term. In any case, though, this has been what Draxi did use, I believe, in their match up against Archangel, where he did use it to try to control their opponents, but there is a different timing for BREN. But let's see if Stiletto can make the impact happen. He does get the 1, even puts Jesse Vash to low HP, and this is looking better, way, way better for the Empire team.
Empire now with a man advantage, and they do have the high ground so far.
Nexi!
Spike don't blast down, and Nexi actually catching out Jesse Vash there, leaving now the Killjoy and the breach here for BREN esports. Draxi though trying to break this door. Dispenser breaks the faces, and BREN esports controlling the high ground right now. But while this is happening, the door has been busted. Draxi is there to say hello and make this a 1v1. Dispenser now quite low. Nanoswarm doesn't really get the connection. And where will Dispenser come from? From above, drops on down, dancing by the generator. Already made it halfway, but that is going to be the Brimstone getting that takedown. Empire esports able to clutch it out, but BREN, they made it so close in the end. Everyone coming from the high ground falling flat on their face.
That was too close for comfort, but it's something that Empire will have to just try and be comfortable with themselves. Did they actually get the operator for Silver there? No, they weren't able to. That was bad. Well, I mean, they clutched the round, but definitely that was a pricey one for them because they cannot supplement the economy for Silver's sniper plays. In any case, though, that does keep them afloat. That does stave off BREN from getting that match point. But BREN, look at this 5-man stack outside B main. Are they going to go for something unorthodox and just rush it in? Now they're just going to set things up, get that information, and maybe back away. But this does open up something. How did they actually get that smoke there? Oh, no, that was the smoke for Empire. And anyways, it's going to be the B side as they do have the Kumbayas. They do have the Porkum ult as well, and everybody getting flushed out. Now, Silver's still in the back of sight. Maybe he can hold this off as his teammates are here for the response.
Great response there from Empire. They got in the way. They saw the Rays popping that showstopper, and now it becomes a 3v1. But Jesse Vash, we've seen him perform miracles before, but apparently it's not going to be that day of the week. Silver does get 3 instead. 11-7, Empire climbing on back. And we've seen this before. We've actually streaked in the first half. Maybe, just maybe, Empire can make it a closer game now.
It's workable. It's workable. The tale of two teams. The tale of two empires. You said this, right?
Yes, sir.
But now we're going to see the tale of two BRENs as Dubstep picks up an operator. Yeah, guys, if you're just watching and you don't know who BREN is, Dubstep is their main op, their main sniper player. He usually plays with a Reyna and a Jet. But he does like to use the Rays if he needs a little bit more utility. And now he's back on this one. They did spot him out, so they will play accordingly to this one because Dubstep is a phenom on this particular sniper. Actually, what am I saying? He did use the sniper, you know, in the first half, but maybe someone who's just popping right in. But I'm just saying as well.
I mean, the big thing now is BREN is on the attack. Empire needs to change their pace immediately. They have to respect the operator 1, but also find the best timing to push the Rays 2. Because he has no disengage properly unless he really sets up the blast backs first and foremost. The other thing is he doesn't have the showstopper anymore, so there's a backup weapon suddenly pushing him and you get blown up. 2 smithereens right in front of you. So here for Empire, they also have 5 ultimates ready to go. Stiletto look to pop off and Dubstep gonna get seen there through the one-way. There we go with the takedown. Empire will say we can challenge that, we can get that kill. And the best part about this is Stiletto, since he popped that Empress a while ago, it will refresh and he wants to go for more souls.
Show me your legs, Stiletto says onto Dubstep, and well, he's the one who spots it out first. I mean, it's something that Empire are going to be happy to do with, and it seems like Stiletto has awakened. The beast, Chaos, is here, able to take 2, finally gets a shutdown on him, but BREN has already lost 3 members. Jesse Vash is going to be playing the operator. He knows how to use this, but on a Sova, there's only as much as he can do, and Dispenser's also here, so Dispenser has to open up something unless they just want to play safe and save these weapons for the next round.
It's a 50-50 here. If Dispenser can actually get on A site, they might try to go for it. If not, Jesse Vash will just run on away. Dispenser with the open, but there's no time this time. BREN will be able to secure the A side of the map. They're happy to save the operator. They're happy to save a rifle, but Empire Esports, Stiletto finally finding some fire within him, and he really showed up in that round.
Yeah, he just obliterated members left and right, one by one as well. Like, he was on A main, and he was like, I'm going to make some value here on A short because nobody's going to be pushing the main anymore. Proves out, you know, he procures a couple more kills. He's only up to 7, but honestly, when you're in this type of game that every kill has an impact, even just being 7 kills when you're getting the important ones is very, very, you know, substantial. In any case, though, you are seeing the average combat score of Dubstep, 263.3. That just means that Dubstep is able to just be in a lot of value. And I mean, in terms of the fights here, and now he's going to be trying to open up stuff on the B. You're going to peek that. You're going to peek that Dubstep. He's going to peek it, and he's going to lose the silver.
Yeah, he's going to die there. The operator says, hello, good sir. Would you like to die? And Nexi also going to be adding 1 up. Empire now firing on yet again. Seems like we are seeing the rebuild the Empire so far. But can they actually set on back and get those score lines? Dispenser though with his zone. And that is going to be Stiletto forced out just to die. Double peek though from Empire. Tried to go for the takedown. Didn't work out. BREN Esports really setting that one up to get a free kill.
4 ultimates are up here for Empire. If they lose this, I don't know what's going to be up because they have so much utility to work with. They have the numbers advantage, and they don't really have... I mean, if they lose this round, I feel like it's going to be over because the momentum is going to just be lost in their favor. Here's another thing. Every entry fragger that BREN has, as well as any entry point, any entry utilities that they can use, aside from maybe the Sova here, is gone. Dubstep is out. They don't have Borkum anymore. And this is the perfect time for Empire to strike to strike back, so to speak.
He doesn't really want to get the Star Wars out, but
Yes,
Draxi,
sir.
he's stepping up as well, and here we go again. When Empire feeds off one player, everyone gets the nurture there. The Brimstone stepping it up also, and this is like best case scenario here for Empire. Not only
10 seconds
are
left.
their bottom fragging players rising up, but they still have 4 ultimates here, Mr. Ass, right? They've been so efficient with the takedowns. It is going to be Jesse Bash, though, shutting out Draxi. There we go with the time running out. Empire looking to peek this one, swinging on the way. Bat goes, will shut down the operator there. And Bren now can't snipe back. It's up to them to figure out what to do because Empire has taken 4 in a row to really come close to this game.
I just want to point something out as well. This composition for Bren, again, we all know, guys, you're going to be... you're going to be comparing Valorant with another game that we know, right? But here, agents matter. Picking up your agents matter. And because Dubstep was forcing himself to play that sniper for the past 2 rounds, there hasn't really been any entry fragging prowess for any of them because he's the only duelist up there. So he has to make entry fragging work. And that's kind of difficult when you're an entry fragger and a sniper all at the same time. Unless maybe you're like, a jet or anything. But yeah, that's going to be the Hunter's Fury up against each other. So who's going to be the better archer? Is it going to be on Empire or is it going to be Bren? It seems like it's Bren because they took out Stiletto in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that's perfect. When the Reyna cannot fight directly, cannot fight properly, then it is going to be an agent dead in the water. And that's one way for Bren to mitigate their single duelist composition. If Dubstep cannot execute, make something happen with their ultimates. Really good takedown there by Jesse Vash. He's been rising up as well to get those kills, but they cannot commit onto this one as of yet, with Empire reinforcing over onto A side. Bit of a rotation though, Silver checking out the middle, looking to play into B. Fake though from Bren, and they want to make this push work.
Again, if they try to do this, there's still 3 ultimates that Empire can use to stop them in their tracks. They have the lockdown, they have the orbital strike, but that goes same with Bren, who also has the same utility here. Fault lines as well as the smokes being popped out, and here comes Dubstep onto the fight, and they're gonna try to go into the meat grinder with Draxi into the front lines. Let's see if Batgos can pick it up, and yes, he does! They're gonna be able to get the plant down on that spike, and Borkum is just holding him off on the short here. Now it's all about that retake, and Nexi activates the lockdown.
The lockdown gonna be there, and Nexi trying to just detain everyone along the way. Silver though on the high ground, the Dubstep gonna be peeking by the box and does get that kill. Trying to go for the flag, Batgos though holding strong. 1 second left. Do we see the race get on the way? There's the detain, but the thing is, they don't really know where Dubstep is. Empire instead gonna be going for the defuse, but Jesse Bash with a big surprise onto Nexi. He has to come on close. Batgos getting halfway, and the 2 Sovas looking to meet in pitch combat through the doorway. Guns are out, bows and arrows trying to string on along, but here comes Bren. They are gonna swing, they're gonna get that takedown, and with pretty much a second to spare, they will be on match point.
You talk about how well Dubstep entried. You talk about how Borkum was able to defend the A short so that nobody from Empire can push in. But Vash knew that if he just went for the long flank from going to A main to A short, he would catch the members of Empire off guard because everybody was looking A main as well as A heaven there because they knew that somewhere on their own spawn was Dubstep to be, and that just costed the round for Empire. Granted, of course, it had to be, it just had to be a risk, but the risk that they did not win, and that's going to be a 12-9 with Bren now looking at match point.
They're really staring to get this first map, and this is going to be the best case scenario here for Bren, if ever. Ascent has been a test for Empire to really show their stuff. They've been impressive on a map like this. This, I believe, has been their map pick also. So when it was down to it, this is the best chance Empire has against BREN eSports. Now then, over to B side, we'll see if this Bren Menace can actually make it over to this angle. They have 3 ultimates available, the Showstopper, the Orbital Strike, and the Lockdown. All very good in the AoE areas of B.
Okay. Slow but surely. Lockdown initiated, and Bren is looking to stop this. So for the moment, Bren, with Dispenser on the Killjoy, has kind of used this to go around, go back, and, kind of fake a B, but now they're actually just going to utilize it and just force their will on the site. Somebody's already taking some damage from the Nano Swarm. Nexi peeks out, but Dispenser was prepared to take him out, and these smokes really are stopping Empire from making something work out. They don't have many ultimates to work with, and Bren still has an Orbital as well as a Showstopper. What can they do? This is the best positioning from them to do on right now, and yeah, like you're pointing out, Dax, Humi is once again out of reach because he has another lineup with the Molly. they have to chase down. They know that there's going to be a B main player there, but they have to go in.
The hunt is on both the Brimstone as well as the Killjoy trying to go for the angles. There we go now with Jesse Fastborg going on down. Empire actually getting the hunt on, and it's now going to be 2v3, but the laser beam is there, and the Sky will say it's time to drop this down on the defuse. BREN Esports looking to play for time, looking to take the win, and objective is the way to go here for BREN Esports, objectively winning on Ascent.
GG, that was just brutal. Empire knew that there was one on B main.
To be that way.
Yeah, we saw this yesterday as well up against BREN that, you know, they just got challenged a lot more. I think that was, yeah, Dreamfire on Haven once again, where they was trying to just aggressively peek out on mid as the defenders and try to catch off BREN. The bad thing about that was BREN was just able to somehow miraculously run away from all that aggression and still be able to punish their opponents. Now, if Empire can do something like that, but be more successful, that could be a way for Empire to get back into this one. Still, though, we are going to be seeing... actually, I totally forgot who this one is. Oh, sorry, there we go. Attacking side will be Empire first, and it's going to be Silver on the forefront.
Yeah, Silver definitely dashing on into the garage so far. Over to C side. Seems like, though, BREN Esports going to be trying to mitigate this push with those shock darts, but Silver, at the very least, going to catch out Jesse Bash there, and over and out. Empire going to get flat. This is the speed that we are looking here from Empire Esports, and they are going to be playing a single duelist composition here. You don't see this too often from Empire, but as we said before, they've really been flexing on over, and it does feel like that we are going to be seeing Stiletto back on his OG role. I believe he is going to be on the Sova. Jiraxi, though, going to be on that breach. But my mistake there, it's Stiletto actually on the Slifer. Dispenser coming on, and Jiraxi, though, does answer back. Here comes Jiraxi actually getting to there. Back goes right now, also on the board. And Empire Esports making it a 1v3. Can Dubstep actually figure it out? No, Stiletto will stand still, take the bullets, and take care of Dubstep there to give Empire the 1-0 lead.
This is also something that I'm not sure if we were able to kind of brush up on as we were talking with this matchup between BREN and Empire Esports, but there is a weakness to BREN, and it is so blatant that we kind of also noticed it yesterday, where BREN's pistol round is something left to be desired for this, you know, for this very strong team. Something that they have been kind of struggling with, and something that was very much, I would say exploited from yesterday's matches. And right now, I think Empire was able to do that by just going straight up onto the C site, and that flank from Dubstep was so long that Empire was able to get the kills that they needed on the site, and Dubstep was still late to the party. In that 3 versus 1, there was nothing really that he can do, especially with a Frenzy in those 3 tight angles that he had to deal with.
Yeah, you know, BREN, they usually give up the pistol here on Haven, but this is where they turn it around. Interesting enough, though, it seems like they're going to be playing the Eco instead, but Boomy at least taking care of one before he falls. Paranoia now getting it thrown here by Empire Esports. Both sides are playing the Omen so far. And Jiraxi right now trying to mow one down. There we go with the Guiding Light, though, going to be into play. And Bat goes at the very least, catches out Dubstep. This is going to be Empire right now, keeping up with the momentum, keeping up with the lead, using the gun advantage as Jiraxi gets 3. And he's really stepping up in this game as Nexi gets that final blow on that Omen.
Well, they only lose 1, so that's going to be good. Good economy for Empire to start, you know, creating some bank here. Of course, BREN went for that really good save. Sorry, it's just a save, guys. So they're going to be able to pie up in this round. More so than not, we will be seeing a team who does have the better guns, especially on something in this scenario, to win that duel out. And Jesse Bash whips it out. It's the classic. If you're a Sova on Haven, you're going to be seeing the LMG, the big Odin, the big boss Odin. It's already there.
Big Boss Odin, it's actually going to be whipped out. This is crazy here by BREN Esports. They want to mow down whoever comes in from the garage if ever. Guiding Light already to just peek if ever. But here comes Empire Esports for now. At the very least, looking to push on to A site. We see the Jet and the Breach looking to take points and more. All about that vision here from Empire. But BREN will answer back, whip out the Trailblazer, and it does concuss the Breach for now. A bit of a slow because of the Trailblazer. All about that Scout. And Empire says, okay, let's not go there, guys.
They're trying to listen to where maybe Dispenser has kind of set his stomping grounds. It's going to be on the A site. They're going to be hearing the of the Killjoy there, and they decide, let's just try to go for the B. But if they try to do this, they are going to be headed. They're gonna be bashed onto the heads by jcstani with his Odin. He has a pixel angle here, and he does have his arrow back up. He's gonna get that information. 45 seconds on the clock, plenty of time for Empire to figure out where they want to go, and they're deciding to go once again through the A site. This is gonna be very risky, but they're gonna have to try to deal with this one. And there's the Nano Swarm. They spot out the one on Heaven as well, and Silver's gotta try to challenge, but there's so much utility to try to go up against.
Like gonna be there again, doesn't really get the pop that Bren would like. And here comes Empire right now, dashing on in with Silver taking point. Cloudburst, they're gonna be at the play, but Dispenser by the sewer angle, gonna be catching out Braxy there. All about the short side here for BREN Esports. They're getting the cleanup, and this leaves Stiletto all alone. 7 HP, and the Dream sees the shots, immediately looking for the wall bang. And the question is, can BREN Esports just mow this one down? Paranoia will say hello. It's BREN Esports getting one back.
That was some wishful thinking from Empire, thinking that nobody is going to be playing that short, nobody to pinch. That's the thing about Haven, right? When you push the A long into the A site, there's like half of the site that you can't really see when you're pushing from that angle. So somebody always has to have an eye on short. And Dispenser was just there. Nobody flushed him out. Stiletto, very late to the party, very late in trying to figure stuff out and just help out his own team. And that definitely put the pressure on Empire because they got only half the site, and everybody from BREN was still happy because Dispenser was still defending.
Just goes to show here for BREN Esports, when they can hold the site, they can really control it as best as can. Empire, in the meantime, though, finding a target. Good stuff here by Empire. And every pick that you get on the attacking side of the Haven really helps you out. There's 3 sites to defend. It really pins the rank of BREN Esports here. Odin right now from jcstani to just get pressure on, while Borkum takes advantage and catches out Silver. But Draxi looking to really step it up this game and does find the shots on the Dispenser there by the middle.
Usually these kills that Empire are able to pick up are kills that I think BREN are just trying to make sure that nobody peeks out that angle. So this is more of kind of byproducts of what BREN are doing rather than Empire just doing something. Humi's gonna get spotted out there on top of the site, but he still gets Draxi through the ultimate, through the days. I'm not gonna believe that one, but still they're gonna be coming in to the site, and that is gonna be the Odin. Still Stiletto to get the clutch, but that was way too close for comfort. The LMG, the machine gun from jcstani, almost getting that clutch round.
It takes how much hundreds of thousands just to fire that gun for 8 seconds, but in that case, it got so much value there, getting the kills, but unfortunately, Empire just having that numbers advantage, just having one more person to really get that takedown, shutting down the dreams of the Odin clutch there for BREN Esports. So 3-1 right now. Empire is doing a really good job against BREN Esports. The thing is, they only have a single duelist. They only need the one to actually go on in. The rest can really go for the setup from across the sides. And in this case, they do have that double incel to know exactly where BREN is to answer back. Dart, though, seems like it did get caught. Silver wanting to push into the garage. For BREN Esports, they're unable to play the way that they would like with this kind of comp because Empire is still just able to bulldoze their way to a site when they need to.
Yeah, and this is all up to Silver being able to just create that entry pressure. And here's kind of like a fact or some information from what we've had during the qualifiers. So Silver, also known as Version, guys. If you were thinking, where's Version already? It's Silver, guys. He had the highest amount of kills and I believe opening kills for the Empire team, second only to Ching from Archangel. They're not playing anymore because they got out, beaten by Empire themselves. And it's kind of interesting to see that he's not getting these opening kills anymore up against Empire. Up against BREN. Granted, it is BREN, but still, you are seeing the kind of change of setup that they have to do. That Silver's OP to die here as long as he can find that entry pressure for his team, which he does again onto the B side.
Yeah, quickly as they come, Empire already on B side. BREN in the meantime, though, they can play the links yet again, try to find some angles, try to find some intel, and go in accordingly. But Empire doing a really good job in this post plant. They realize what BREN wants to do. They've done their homework. They're going to be staying away from the site. They're going to be staying away from the site itself, and they are going to be looking to hold on the outside. Good smoke, though, here from BREN Esports. Paranoia going to be thrown, and Silver going to be getting hit by Nazmar as well, but he just dashes on in. He just basically runs and guns and takes care of Dispenser there. Dumps him in the meantime with the answer back, and it's Hunter Fury time here from the side of Empire. A lot of suppressing fire from the Empire Eastern squads. Borkum, though, does catch a Silver there, and it is 3v3. It becomes 3v2. Stiletto now just getting the take takedowns that they need. It's Empire saying, you know, you took the map away from us in Ascent as Empire all get caught by the spike, unfortunately. It is them, though, trying to take this land away from BREN.
This is why we're the casters, and this is why Empire are the pro players. We were wondering, how are you going to be able to deal with BREN if you're going to be going onto the B site and they have that much recon, info gathering abilities, right? Well, we get as quick as we can into the site, get the spike planted down, and get the hell out of there as soon as we can and play the post-plant positioning before BREN can even react, which they did, and they had so many abilities to use, especially with Batghost, having his shock darts and his Hunter's Fury to utilize for that particular round. Beautifully done, and you can see right now Empire, like you said, have done their homework.
This is them reading BREN like a book this time, saying, hey, it is a very interesting strategy that you're whipping out. Sky, Sova, you don't see this one together. They made it work in the quarterfinals, but here in the grand finals, and X-Spin's got it out by Empire already. Jesse Bash, though, with the takedown on Silver. Draxi, though, on the other hand, does get the refrag. And in this case, it's just going to be Borkum now alongside the Killjoy. The Spencer walking on, and he has the lockdown for the retake, but no friends to work together with. Empire Esports looking to really just run away with this lead so far.
This is BREN's map pick. I don't know what's happening here. It's supposed to also be BREN to get that advantage because they're on the defending side, but indeed, Empire are just heating up right now, and they're kind of showing us that they got that Empire's new groove, you know, showing up as of the moment.
Isn't the Emperor? Yeah,
I mean, just give it to me, man. They're both Disney, all right?
I've been giving you the movies already, and here we are again. This Empire looks to still stand the test of history, though, Mr. Asarai. All jokes aside.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, Empire getting an impressive run against BREN Esports on Haven is already a matter of contention. Can they tie up the scoreline to 1-1 in this best of 5? Thing is, though, BREN Esports, it's not just about dominating this map. We've seen amazing comebacks from them throughout their history, especially on Haven. I remember certain games, they were down 11-2. They answer back in the same way. Now Dispenser looking to start things off with a kill there onto Silver. So for all you BREN fans out there is always hope. But this time, Dispenser has no hope to get out. Batghost and Nexi still keeping it up. And Nexi really has been the star of the show here for Empire Esports. Consistently good for both maps. Hunter Fury, though, here from BREN Esports. Bit of the taste, gets the tag, and Borkum and Dubstep will take advantage of that. Stiletto, though, finds Jesse Bash. Here comes Tuna for the Cypher playing that flag. And over to the window, it's Borkum who gets the answer back. 1v1 between Draxi and Borkum. It will just be the Seekers getting in the way, trying to go for the concuss if ever. And it is going to be the garage angle being held. Who can just the flick on you? There's the correction there from Borkum with 9 HP to spare. But does he have enough time? Seems like BREN Esports using the Hunter Fury well done again. And it really was just them saying, okay, you tagged that, let's kill that.
You know, if we ever have the opportunity to see the POV from Bash, he put a ping on the back of site. He put a ping on the default. He put a ping somewhere else on the map, and he just like 1, 2, and 3, and he was able to flush out every single angle. Dubstep able to capitalize with the operator, and Borkum just doing Borkum things. He even activated Stranger Things, which is his ultimate, I just call it like that, and he faked it. I love how he did that, but that replay, that 1v1 you know, overlay that we have, that's supposed to be a kill for the breach. Like, I'm not sure what happened there, but you saw the crosshair. That should have been a kill, but Borkum, like he said, was able to readjust and Dubstep with the reaction.
He doesn't even need to adjust anything. He holds still, breathes in, and says goodbye to the opponent there. So that's already going to be 1 for BREN Esports so far. Dubstep has got the operator trying to go for the wall bang whatever, and I do believe I hear a Guardian trying to get the shots up as well. There's one player who does like to play the Guardian alongside the Odin. I believe that is going to be Jesse Bash playing around with his arsenal of different tools. And this time though, Humi going to be holding on to the Bulldog. Nexi pushing forward yet again. Vandal in hand, shots immediately from that rifle. And it is going to be a headshot there. Humi getting that takedown. Does get a Bulldog back because there's the push. Brando with cleanup, leaving the breach all alone on the side of Empire Esports. And this should be a quick round here for BREN Esports unless Empire can actually find a random exit frag. But no, Draxi says, enough is enough. Let's go on back.
One of the weird timings that we've seen from Nexi, because he doesn't lose those, supposedly, but he just charged up when Humi was still going for like shots through the dark, right? And then Batghost also does the same, and he gets shut down, and that kind of little bit of opening that they did on the retake just kind of fell through the hands for Empire there. I'm not sure what happened, but trying to challenge like that, definitely not going to their favors. In case though, this is just the top of B side. I like that.
Yeah, it's a very good square view of the site. But that was what BREN wanted to do in the first place on B. It's just them getting the intel, getting every single link in their favor, go for the crossfire, and it was slim pickings there for Empire Esports when they tried to force things out. 5-3 right now. BREN Esports coming on back to ultimates, ready here for the defense, the From the Shadows and the lockdown. And when we see the Omen and the Killjoy ult both available, things do change a little bit here for BREN. One of those two players will be solo holding a site. It might be the Omen. He can actually TP on the way if it's all the way across the map. If it is going to be the Killjoy, then the traps and the lockdown going to be used immediately for a proper retake or a hold. So BREN Esports, they're going to be happy right now in the situation they're in.
Speaking of Killjoy, you're seeing a lot more Killjoy players actually be okay swimming in their own Nano Swarm because they take reduced damage because it's like, let's call it ally damage. And it kind of fakes out some players that nobody's going to be playing in that Nano Swarm, which we've seen yesterday and even today. You saw Dispenser was just okay swimming in that Nano Swarm of his on the outside of C Long, and Empire didn't get faked, but that's one of the things that you kind of like to see, the small intricacies that are being showed to us right here, right now, that does give you one up for people who don't know what those setups are.
Oh, I honestly thought Killjoy mains just got more masochistic along the way. They're like, I can take damage, it's fine.
Nano Swarm, it feels so good.
Nano Swarm, I love the bait in these nanites, but right now we're going to be dating in the paranoia, and Dispenser would riddle Silver there with bullets. There's barely any time here for Empire, and BREN is there to execute. Dispenser going to get tased though by Batghost, but Homie finds the angle and catches out the Sova. And as soon as Empire decides to run on in, BREN Esports is there to get the blockade on, and 1 point now is the gap.
I just got that. Batghost, Sonar, Echolocation, Sova. Damn, that's why.
Please don't screech on the mic. that's how you find me. I'm right here. Please use your eyes rather than the headset, which we have finally. I'm happy though that we finally fixed it. There's not gonna be any of those sweet moments on camera anymore.
I'm sad.
We keep it on the table, man. That's
off camera.
Yo, we gotta focus on the action, and I'm focusing right now that Empire is just slipping by on their speed. They really waited it out there, tried to execute, but when you do that against BREN, they're just ready for it. Dubstep though. Just gonna be using that flash to take care of Batghost, and it really is just gonna be the Borkum dubstep connection yet again. It's a beautiful dance to flash and dash, and we see it time and time again. That's a beautiful shot also to get rid of Silver. The Sheriff in hand. Dubstep will do it again and again and again. It's 3 there for the Jet, as clean as can be. It's squeaky here for BREN.
You know what I said about you can capitalize on someone being flashed with a tailwind so quickly because you can bridge that gap faster than if you just run up to your opponent. Dubstep, if you saw it, minute, quick 180 turnaround. So he doesn't get the full flash, and Silver was not expecting that. Let's see that. Look at that. 180 turnaround, and Silver was like, I'm supposed to be catching you. And no, that was filthy sick. My freaking goodness. And Empire just does not know how to deal with Dubstep. That's my goodness.
Bro, you know, cybernetics have gone a long way, but there has been a precursor to all of that, the headshot machine. You know, whenever tactical shooters came out, that had to be the first instance of that, and it really just goes to show that BREN Esports has one in their lineup. 5-5 right now. BREN remembering, like, oh, didn't we just buy the team to this map? We had real estate here. It's for them. It's really them understanding how to play this map so well. And Humi right now going to be playing on the back end again. Humi stepping it up, catches out Silver. There we go. The blades are being popped at the same time. Nexi though finds the angle. Humi decides to push on through the smoke, and it's Humi's time to shine to get 3. Doom of Doom gonna be into play. Borkum though does get 2, and BREN Esports will clean up house yet again. Call housekeeping because these guys have done their job and more.
They're cleaning up house, so to speak. And that's one of the things that BREN really likes to do, and they really do it well, where one of their players will go for the risky play, just like Dubstep, jumping up with the updraft with his Blade Storm, and he challenges. Granted, it's very risky. It's a 50-50. If he can get a kill, great. But if not, you saw Humi charging right up just to pick up for his teammate, and they've done that so many rounds that people have seen it, but they still can't react quickly to it because BREN is always so quick for the punish.
And you know, this isn't a redemption tour for Humi. It's more of like guys accept that I'm part of this roster because he's really stepped it up and played to his standard and more. Really one of those most hardworking players in the scene. People forget that he was part of that roster before BREN that still has like a perfect win record as Dispenser snatches out silver there. So Humi is no stranger to success, and him being added back to this roster is just thrust really on this former player. Now gonna be their controller here. Dispenser though with another takedown. Nexi though getting two so far. Jesse Bash on the board, and Borkum says, please peek there, Nexi, because I will take you down. Had the angle, guarding that light to really shine on that Cypher with a sliver of HP, and even the Seekers just for good measure. Through the cage, they don't care. Humi will get that takedown though on the Stiletto by the end. It's 7-5, and what looked to be an Empire half became BREN's.
Still, for what BREN have set up, for what their composition works for that particular side, for the defending side, I'd pretty much say it already. Empire did a fantastic job starting us off. That 7-5 could have been worse. Honestly, I would have been looking at like maybe a 10-2 if that was any other team. But like you said, they slipped up, but it's not the biggest of slip-ups. They still have a chance in this second game, and they are making it work. Now, looking at the options, the buy-ups that they have for this pistol, I was kind of looking forward to seeing maybe a lot more frenzies for the BREN team since they're going to be on the attacking here, but they're going to be utilizing a lot more classics because they want that utility. They're going to be trying to force Empire to go for a lot more rotates because that's the premise of Haven. If you try to go for a 1-3-1 split, for any kind of split in this particular map, you're spreading yourself thin as the defenders, and that's what probably BREN is looking at here on their attacking side.
Every pick you get on the attack matters, as we said before. And this time, BREN is looking for those targets, looking for those takedowns, and finding the weak zones that Empire has. Now, it's a two-way thing a while ago on the defense. It's just good to confirm where the attackers are coming from with the Sova and the Sky. This time, they can just use the Sova and the Sky to say, do you think there's someone here in this angle? Do you think there's someone here on this site? I don't see anyone. I don't hear anyone. It's time for us to go and take this site for free. And choices now getting narrowed down by BREN Esports by because of that lineup. Stiletto though comes close, and this is going to be unfortunate there for Dubstep and Borkum. Borkum has the right idea to put the guiding light in the middle of the site, but that was just Stiletto decided to push on in. The bird swoops by him, and he gets two for the price of one. Make that even three here at the end for Empire.
You know why his name is Stiletto? Because he just walks up and he just does things. Bad Ghost with a kill on that shock dart, and he finishes it off. Not even a chance for BREN to plant down that spike, and that peak caught off BREN. This is what we were talking about. If you're able to find that little gap as BREN is about to set things up, you can punish them. You can catch them off guard. And Stiletto, the brave man that he is, he challenged and he got two. And that is what we're talking about as well. That's what they need to do, and that is what they're doing.
Look at Chameleon. He stands still and no one can see him. It's crazy how Stiletto is able to do it. And look at this, 13 kills for Stiletto, 13 kills for Borkum. Even though we'd seen incredible plays there from Dubstep and a few good kills from Silver, who adds one to collection to take care of Jesse Bash, it's actually the Jets really struggling in this game at the very bottom. But Stiletto now really showing on up. Dispenser in the meantime with a catchback onto the Cypher, and Nexi now shutting down the Sky along the way. This leaves Dubstep by the sewer, and the killjoy of Dispenser over at C long so far. BREN right now cut in half basically, and more. The spike gonna be by the midpoint of these two agents, and Empire looking to take another round for free unless Dubstep can actually kill that Omen in front of him, which he decides to disengage from instead.
And we talked about how BREN's pistol rounds are, again, something to be desired with. And Empire knows this. They're just challenging BREN as much as they can in these, non-rifle rounds. Oh, no, he's just waiting on the bridges. The Spencer was like, I'm going to get my lurk play, but Silver is here to shut it down. My goodness, how is he a sniper still with the frenzy? Okay, Nexi deals with him, but that was like 20 meters away, and the frenzy still rains bullets on the breach. Dubstep, you animal.
I think that's the most accurate I've ever seen a frenzy. The control there, those bullets all connecting just like that. It's crazy. But I like what Silver did. He basically put a trap in front of him, and a very hungry Dispenser said, oh, I want that. And he dies because of it. So we are all tied up. Empire taking that momentum from the first round leads to the second. But this is going to be a potential third round turnaround in the second half for BREN Esports. Big chance for them to regain their momentum and keep the lead up. We'll see what Empire can do, because this is really a round that can prove how much they can steal away from BREN.
Very true. You see this? No one from BREN actually challenged window because they know that there's going to be a weaker weaponry here for Empire. They didn't buy up. They only have what they had was this. Never mind, I was about to say the scout, or sorry, the marshal was going to be there to not really do much, but Silver, okay, he's looking for more targets. He's already gotten 2, and that's going to be okay, pretty good. And now we're down to the 3 versus 2 with BREN. They purchased rifles, and they get besmirched by Empire as they just did not smoke any of the angles where a martial player could just deal damage, which Silver did.
I'm going to call the arms dealer real quick between rounds. I think he gave Silver an operator by mistake because just those headshots were nasty there from the Jet. He found the targets, he got the kills, and now it's 3v1, all eyes on Dubstep. He's creeping on in by C-Link. Does he get set? Stop it though by the C-side. Oh no, maybe spawn there. But next he actually catching out Dubstep instead. Empire Esports do yoink this one away. Well played there by Silver.
That's gonna at least give them so much more here because BREN don't got no money. Silver got the op, and yeah, like he pointed out, man, it's going to be downward, or an uphill battle rather, for BREN going into this one. But this is where it also gets tricky because if Silver makes a mistake and he's in a position to get rushed in, operators are notorious for being not really good for duels. So that's why it's always on the Jet, because you can tailwind out of a precarious situation. But Silver's is going to go for the quick challenge. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to find anybody, and that is just going to state them to rotate back onto mid because BREN is already on the case, already outside of B.
Yeah, and you know, BREN is going to be on the back foot here. They don't have the guns that they need. Empire do. And this is looking to be reminiscent of the old rivalry between BREN and Empire back in the day. It was a few months since Empire really stood toe-to-toe against BREN Esports. But what they're proving right now is they made it to the Grand Finals for good reason. They made these changes for good reason. And this is going to be a situation where BREN will just dash on in and try to take B side. Already made a link, but Batgos hold strong. And this will be Dubstep getting felled immediately in front of the Sova. Low HP there for Humi. He's just going to get wall banged there immediately by B back. And things looking good here for Empire so far. They just want to be careful though with the operator as Borkum just whittles down Batgos there. Draxi though with the aftershock of Jesse Bash. Silently guiding light out in front. There's the peek. There's the trip. And there's the takedown. It's 2v2 right now. Gonna be the lockdown. And the Seekers also into play. BREN Esports are saying we can actually take this round away from Empire. And the Stingers are there to try and do that right here, right now. Silver though uses the classic to get rid of the Spencer. Bladestorm in hand. The head-to-head here yet again. Battle. And the angle is taken by Borkum. Geometry and geography. This is what BREN knows so well on Haven.
That was a 50-50. He either had to check C-Link or A-Link. It was the other. That peek out from Borkum, that is why he is the best player in Valorant Philippines right now. His ability to read movements of the players, his ability to understand the situation and net value from that is just by far non-comparable to anyone else. And then he picks up a Vandal. He has an ultimate. His dispenser had an ultimate. And that was such an uphill battle for Empire. I talked about BREN being in an uphill battle, but damn, did they turn the tables.
That's the thing. Empire, even with any advantage, it can just fall flat with BREN and their tactics. Suddenly though, Silver has to use all his mobility there on Uptrap and the Tailwind to actually back on the way and get away from the Hunter's Fury. Stiletto though, able to zoom on in and catch out the Dubstep with the first fire from the Bulldog. Gate angle taken by the Cypher. Not only that, he also is able to protect himself with that Cyber Cage. But Humi now finishes the job. Silver will go down. It's 4v4, but BREN Esports, they're trying to keep it on the C side. And there we go, Jesse Bash getting the refrag after Stiletto takes care of the Omen.
That's going to leave them in a 3 versus 3 here. BREN Esports do have some control on the C-Long area, and they're maybe going to try to enforce their will onto that particular part of the map. Okay, Dispenser coming outside. Perfect timing once again. Like I said, this man is the master lurker. He's able to just go in. You don't even need a Yoru to infiltrate. If you have a dispenser on your team, that's all the infiltrator you ever need. And that picks them up the C site. And this turns into a bad situation for Empire. No ultimate, and it's going to be the Omen and the Sova. But at least they do have the Sova for that recon dart.
It's a passive gate crash just for being dispenser. He's just
exactly
always there. But it really just goes to show how much BREN knows this map. We see it time and time again. BREN Esports is just able to get the angle, able to get the encircle, and we just saw it there from the Killjoy. Now the Sova and the Omen trying to take two for an angle. Back goes distracting the Spencer, but it's not enough as he still gets the headshot anyway. Nexi though, in behind, gonna get beat by Borkum, and BREN Esports is happy to take the lead. Still 9-8. Empire keeping it close, but BREN is just commanding yet again.
Commanding it again. Those slight changes that they do, able to get them those round wins that they need. We have to check the scoreboard real quick here because I'm curious to see what Empire are going to be buying up into this round. It seems like they only have a couple of upgraded pistols there. Thank you. And a Bucky for Bat Ghost, but more so than not, it's just going to be that Nexi will have a Marshall on his own. Is he going to buy that Marshall? Right, or is Silver going to buy a Marshall? No, he's going to save because next round with that 2-7 creds, it should be able to get them an operator again for Silver, which is going to be very important. And BREN here, knowing that their opponents don't have that much money, will get challenged. But Nexi, okay, starts it off.
The Bucky, always a fun gun to see, but Dubstep even funner with a Blade Storm. Now then, the Omen just be trying to hold on to the swords, but Jesse Bash will get that takedown, and Humi with the covering fire to catch out Batghost as well. That's the thing about BREN Esports. They're trying to reinforce one single side of the map, but one thing they also do is make sure that the angle that's not being watched will have someone on surveillance. BREN now onto A side. It's 4v2 as Empire Esports can be forced to hang on back. Can they do it here? It's Stiletto alongside Silver, the two duelist players usually whipping that out and as a duo, but this time it's a Cypher here for Stiletto, and he's been doing a really good job at holding C side. But now with the Blaze Storm in hand, it's Dubstep commanding that one yet again. BREN Esports is feeling the confidence, and we see it here with his 2-round gap.
I kind of also forget that Sky has a heal because every single time that we've seen Borkum just utilize the Sky, it's all about the guiding lights, all about the
Trailblazer.
Trailblazer, there we go, thank you. Never really the heal, so...
Well, the thing about the regrowth, right, is everyone needs to be together. Together forever, just holding
Best
hands.
friends forever.
That's the real kumbaya experience here in Valorant. And when do you really see that? Not too often.
Careful.
And the thing is, with Borkum just absolutely insane at getting the shots, you don't want to be healing that. You don't be healing too much because you're gonna not have a gun out, and you can actually get taken down supporting like that. But there are times, of course, BREN Esports might need it if they do need to slow things down. Empire, though, has been either securing the kills or just being felled by the faster pace of BREN.
BREN's pace, like you said, has gone up. And that's really kind of putting Empire more on their toes here. They're trying to read BREN as quickly as they can. Silver misses that jump out there. But Stiletto was looking at the wrong angle. That slight little peek, and Jesse Bash is like, okay. I mean, Jesse Bash is a little bit more mature than any of the other players, but that doesn't mean that he has terrible aim. This guy does the practice. He's been just going for that to that aim range, the aim labs practice range, just to keep his aim sharp, and he connects those. And now opens stuff up with the 4 versus 5 in favor of BREN. That peek out from Dubstep. What are you gonna do?
The Omen trying to go for the paranoia play, and next he eventually does get rid of Borkum. He takes 2, but Dubs is there to stomp on him, and suddenly it's 3v1. But thing here for Empire and BREN is they're trying to outmaneuver each other with different tactics. But when Empire ends up doing
30
a thing
seconds
twice,
left.
BREN Esports will not fall for it. We saw Stiletto a while ago take that angle and burst down the jet when they're trying to push onto C-Long. This time it's like, someone's gonna peek there. I know it. And he had it ready. Great play there from Jesse Bash at the start of this round. But for now, it's 3v1, and what can Silver do?
Save the operator. That's everything that he can do. There's not going to be much money for Empire, I think, coming into the next round. That was actually also a pretty good play. Humi did not use his from the shadows too quickly. He waited for Dispenser to just run up to the C site and make sure that nobody's there. And he's like, Humi, let's go. Come in here. Get that spike planted down. It's a 3 versus 1, but we got to be careful because the one that's left is Silver, and we don't want to give him any chances for a comeback. BREN makes sure, and right now they're going to be looking at an 11-8. But still, though, at least Silver saves up the sniper.
The way you snap there, it's like, is Humi a pet or something? I don't know. I mean, the Omen is like different, right? You don't know if he's a guy, he's a girl, if he's even human. So
Maybe it's an it.
Maybe it's just like a robot. Maybe it is actually like a dog inside it. I don't even know anymore.
That's true.
But then again, it is a good response there from BREN, all jokes aside. 11-8 right now. double digits for everyone except Silver, who's kind of struggling here to actually hit those shots. He is just unable to really get the angles against BREN Esports right now. We know he's a crack shot. We know he can be insane with the rifles, especially some of the snipers like the operator, and especially that Marshall we saw before. But those situations just aren't really coming to him because of positions right now taken by BREN.
Yeah, and for the most part as well, BREN doesn't really peek the angles, you know, without any backup as well. They have the Sober drone like this one, or if they peek out, it's going to be the guiding light. Nexi has just been fantastic this entire game, and even through that kind of aggressive info-gathering play that BREN did on the short, he's still going to keep his composure, keep calm, and just shoot down. So that's what you have to put on a t-shirt. Keep calm and do Nexi things.
I like that. I like that. Maybe that can be official Empire merch. You guys can use the line. We don't mind.
Yeah, guys, call me. Or, you know, I got you.
I think Asuna want some royalties here. But it really was Empire from the very start relying on Nexi to be their guiding light in a way. It has always been him the one to watch out for at the very top of his game time and time again from the inception of Agent Farius, now Empire Esports. And it really goes to show why this roster has stuck together, because everyone is trying to make themselves the best they can be, but they can still rely on who they have been all throughout their history. So good on Nexi. I love what he can do over any single match, over any single game. But it's still not enough against BREN Esports, even though they do have the advantage. BREN is going to be sieging out the A side, and Dubstep will end the Cinderella story for the round as Nexi will go down. That 4v4 situation going to be confirmed even easier here by BREN because of those Seekers, but the Hunter's Fury is on. Dubstep forced the Tailwind on away, and the spike going to get planted here though by BREN Esports, who will be playing offsite.
That is going to be two ultimates that found nobody. Godspot for the planting on that spike, so both short as well as long can spot this out. So it's gonna be a brutal retake for Empire to try to make something happen, because Jesse Bash, he got the lineups, even if it gets shut down. He's gonna have to go for a 3 versus 4 here. They're gonna challenge the angles. Bad Ghost does get the shutdown here. He spawns out one. That's Jesse Bash for you. Down to Dubstep. He has the crossfire angle here. He can be able to maybe get this out for him. 27 HP. He's peeking it out. He's trying. He whips out the sheriff. He got the shutdown.
He got the kill.
Can he get it? Can he get it? Can he get it? It's already half. It's gonna be close, and it explodes.
The bullet.
Oh my god.
A bullet just goes through Azurai. He just knew exactly where to shoot after the smoke dissipates. It doesn't matter if that is staring him in the eye, because he knows what it takes to win. And this is the difference BREN has over everyone else. They know what to do every single time.
That is why that is his name, because he knows the steps to get that dub. My goodness. And now we're looking at a weaker buy for Empire Esports. They are bleeding here. They don't know what they have to do to be able to beat out BREN. They've tried so many things. They've used their ultimates. They got the lineups. They got even the advantage. But it's still that secret sauce. And Nexi also has another secret sauce with that headshot on Dubstep. Immediately refragged by Dispenser. But still, here we come. Dispenser activates the ultimate, but more so than not on Haven. He uses this for a fake, but it seems like they're gonna challenge for the A site.
The room for error there in that shot is just so small, and Nexi connects with it anyway. Dispenser though throwing down the Nazwarm. Lockdown gonna be there, does get to detain, but high ground still taken here by Empire so far. Sad to say for them though, no Rolling Thunder available. The only ultimate they have will be the Neural Theft to get that intel. But I need to find a fresh corpse if they want to use that. Dispenser now playing by the default. Smoke's going to be into play. Here comes the push though from Empire. Already going to get dinged on the back goes. And Dispenser will get that takedown. Hunter's Fury into play. Silver going to be dumping on the way. But Dispenser is absolutely on fire. He has been the ace in the hole, but the ace going to get denied as Borkum gets the last kill. And it really has been bedazzling here from BREN Esports, because Haven really is
for them. So I'm going to call that as my prediction, guys. I think Empire are going to win this map. I know it's a very low chance of that happening, but not very low, but there's a chance of it happening. I think Empire will take this one.
So this composition that BREN has is more reactive than it is for, you know, just setting stuff up. Granted, that's going to change a little bit because they do have the Cypher and the Sova for information, so they can react even faster if they can spot stuff out with their camera, with the tripwires, as well as the recon darts. But more so than not, it's going to be Empire to try to utilize this composition of theirs just to overflow into the site. Basically, they're going to go like a tsunami and just charge right in. That is going to be the catch-up right here, but the Spencer just holds off and gets that information, telling them it's going to be the sure A site. Humi comes out from shower, once again, like a smoke criminal, and now it's going to be the retake with the Spencer again starting stuff off for the BREN team.
Is this finally the moment that BREN will win a pistol? And it looks like it is going to be. They have been losing pistols all day long. This is a statistic that I have wanted to mention, and I even said it in chat earlier. Empire has just won all of their pistol rounds today. BREN hasn't won a single one. This is the first time they're doing it, and this is a good sign for them coming into Buying.
Yeah, definitely. They just waited a little bit. I think one of the things that they were kind of weirded out about is that he got still caught by the tripwire. I'm talking about Stiletto. Even when he did that satchel play, he got like besmirched a little bit. And then everybody else from the Empire kind of just waited for somebody to peek out in U-Haul. And that little bit of lag time in terms of position, in terms of timing, I think was crucial enough that BREN was able to rotate quickly and just challenge Empire, and Empire could not play for that post plan. Granted, also that Humi was playing on the showers, but that smidge of time definitely did cost, I think, Empire a good post-plan timing, good post-plan positioning.
Yeah, that was a really good, clean round for BREN Esports on that pistol. See if they can capitalize on it. Doesn't look like there's going to be a force buy on the side of Empire. They are still maintaining their composure, which is definitely something that I'm honestly quite looking forward to. Let's see. Just a little bit of a default here. No one getting a little bit too crazy. Just straight up defaults, information place, and they're going to make their way towards hookah here.
I just wanted to point this out as well. We are playing a best of 5, not a best of 3 anymore. Dubstep getting 2. But just to finish off my thought process there, guys, this is a battle of attrition. Whoever has the more stamina will be just disgusting. Okay, Nexi spotting out the Spencer, chasing him to the teleporter, shutting him down. But they gotta be also careful that Borkum is hiding underneath the hookah, and he's just gonna be able to supplement the defense, stop them from coming outside, stopping them from waterfalling onto the side, and even having a chance to plant down that spike. 2 straight rounds for BREN here, and Empire finally get their first buy round.
Yeah, that is the first round that, well, the first buy round, they win their first buy round, but this is going to be the first real gun round, technically, as Empire Esports are lagging a little bit behind in terms of the scoreline. It's nothing too bad just yet. It's still a 2-0. But if they let this slip away from them, if they let the momentum sort of get to BREN, you know, BREN is so excellent at playing ahead. You know, when they're ahead, they know how to steamroll, they know how to stomp. So this is something that Empire really need to watch out for here. Fortunately, they start the round off with a pick onto Jesse Vash, so that's their information gatherer that they actually have taken out at the very beginning of the round.
Dubstep also finding one as well onto Stiletto. That's going to be the 1-for-1 trade with both players actually pretty low and no healers in sight. So it's going to be a 3.5 here, boys. 3.5 men. And let's see where they're going to try to rotate around. Bat Ghost getting control outside of shower. He has full utility, so he can try to flush things out. He does not want to lose his life because that will definitely hinder the attacking power of Empire here, because they definitely need that information, because they have to know which corners of the A side BREN is playing around, utilizing that Sova drone just to make sure that something, or they're going to be able to clear those corners, like I said, but nothing just yet. Humi also using the molly to stop them in their tracks as they push up.
Yeah, and that's going to be a nice flash, and honestly, that was a good fault line to slow down that push here from EMP. Let's see if Empire can go for it this time, though. Flash will allow them to get a little bit closer onto the side, but will they expect 2 players near the bathrooms area? Doesn't look like it. The Steam Beacon will come out just to be able to, you know, boost his firepower a little bit longer, but it's actually going to be a fake. They're heading towards B, where there will be 2 players from BREN still waiting right there, but they do take a quick trade. There's still 1 more player on site as Silver gets the kill onto Humi right here. Dispenser caught in a little bit of a firefight as he does make his way towards B. Dubstep has gotten another sneaky kill. They still haven't found him right now. He's in a load of trouble as 8 seconds left. They have to plant the spike, and it's a good round here. Dubstep looking to get that kill, and he's going to deny the spike plant and actually get the win for his team. That's what happens when you don't clear the site.
That was crucial, though. Not the B side, but the A side, rather. Silver, he had basically 2 opponents in a silver platter, but still not able to kill both. Granted, they were kind of going through triple box as well as the truck, but I mean, if he wasn't able to hit that shot, it definitely would have costed his teammates that were already rotating to B, because they have to worry about people rotating from the spawn. Aside from that, like he said, they weren't able to clear out the site because Dubstep just knows how to move using that satchel charge rather than to play the aggressive flights play. It's also about just to reposition and just, you know, take a little bit of a breather and still pose a threat outside on Garden.
Yeah, that's the opening frag yet again, and BREN start off the round strong. That's 2 quick peaks for them that they have managed to secure at the very beginning. 3 to 5 right now, 2-man advantage for the side of BREN. And on this round, I think it's fairly safe to say that BREN have won it. It's a matter of how expensive can Empire make this round.
BREN, okay, they're just going to be holding stuff off. I do like how they're reading this pretty dang well if you look at it, because they do have Humi set it up already with the molly. Imagine if somebody was on the right there, he's not going to be able to escape at all. Fault line, aftershock, a Molotov. You're just going to be swarming in a lot of heat, a lot of meat. And Empire with 3 members remaining and not a lot of firepower. They're going to have to just play this maybe with just the rush, and oof, that one-way smoke not going to even make their chances even better.
Yeah,
Any better.
Some information being gathered here towards mid, but Bat Ghost actually goes down. And that's the spike dropped in the middle of nowhere in no man's land. Humi spots a shoulder, doesn't want to commit to that fight. Nexi is going to be the one who goes down instead, and it's a perfect round yet again for BREN Esports. This is exactly what they need to build up their economy. They know what they need to do. And this is what I like about BREN, honestly, and sure, people can say that it's a little bit, yeah, you know, boring. I don't want to say the word. But one reason why it makes this so good is because they're one of the few teams who can keep their eco rounds so clean that they don't risk losing the rounds after this. Like, their anti-ecos are so finesse that they do not run a risk of going into eco prematurely.
That's true. I think rather than calling it boring, we could probably call it they just have their fundamentals straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because that's what you want to do with an anti-eco is you have the better guns. You're not supposed to lose that technically. And BREN just knows how to do stuff like that. Dubstep, okay, they know where he was. He was in his stomping grounds right there on market. He's going to be charging up here right now into the back. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn in the world. And he's just going to be able to try to play this pinch. And everybody from Empire just goes in and pulls the trigger on the B side. It's working well, but Dispenser is here. 4K, okay, Dispenser.
4 kills for him, looking for the ace. One person left standing. It's Silver. He doesn't get it. Dubstep to win in the end. And that's going to be the last kill of the round. Dispenser almost getting the ace right there. We missed a lot of the action, but we definitely picked up that very last kill as Humi now has his ultimate ready. But I do want to point out, Silver hasn't been having the best of games. It's actually Nexi who's really been stepping up. Drexy's a little bit more quiet as well than he normally is.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's something going on with Stiletto as well. In the previous game, he was just sitting all right towards the middle of the scoreboard, even as Cypher. And at the very start of the round, I feel like we have to find a way on the side of Empire Esports to make these guys shine a little bit more, because they have been getting shut down time and time again by the players of BREN.
They could be feeling the fatigue here, Illustrato, because again, this is the best of 5. This is a battle of perseverance, a battle of stamina. BREN has been in this situation countless times already. I'm not sure about Empire on the other hand. We know they're former Agent Affairs. We know that they've been playing a lot of tournaments, a lot of grand finals, but it's just a different thing when you're up against someone the same caliber as BREN, and their movements seemed a little bit fatigued here. Let's try a little bit fatigued.
And now they're going to try to go on towards this A side, but they haven't even secured control of bathrooms. They have to know that they're a little bit vulnerable here. Stiletto going down to Dubstep yet again. Pulls out the paint shell at the wrong time. Bat Ghost actually does get the trade in the end, and now they're finally going to put a person towards bathrooms on this A take. It has slowed down a significant amount though, as Humi looking to get a kill. Nice 180 turnaround onto Nexi. He finds that kill, still applying pressure onto the attackers, and so the pressure will force them away towards that beat, towards that teleporter. They're going to be heading there right now. They're going to be leaving one player, and that's Silver, towards that area.
They don't even know that Vash is here. One drops down, but Vash is too quick on the case. And that's why it does not work, rotating quickly to B when you're at the numbers disadvantage, because there's always going to be that one person just staying on the site. He got shot, and Jesse Vash was there for the awe.
Damn. Just rather unfortunate. You eat a shock dart to the face, and then you just drop to your doom. That's pretty much the story she wrote here. 6-0 Empire Esports. You know, if there's any time to call a tactical timeout, it would be now.
Yeah,
like
100%.
they need to call a timeout. They need to compose themselves. They need to stop BREN from stomping them, because BREN is right now. This is a far cry from what we've seen for Empire for the first 2 games. The first 2 games they were amazing, but yeah, it seems right now that it's gotten into the head of Empire.
It feels like everything that Empire has done for the past couple of rounds have been, for the lack of a better term, forced. Like, they're just trying to go aggressive as can be, and it's not really netting anything. You know what? If you're going to try to go for the splice water, if you're going to have somebody try to do stuff like that, it's Dispenser who can always do the deed, always do the damage, and Humi as well has been fantastic at holding these baths. Like, he has been taking baths so many times that he is squeaky clean.
Yeah. Well, just it's an eco round anyway, so they know that their odds of winning this were a little bit slim. But I really feel like doing significant economic damage is very, very important on these eco rounds. For a lot of the teams, this is something that they don't realize. And I'm not saying Empire doesn't know this, but I'm sure they do. But one thing that you need to realize when you're playing on Valorant on an equal round, your goal isn't to win the round. Your goal is to make it expensive, to break the economy as soon as possible of whoever you're going up against, so that you have a better arsenal coming into the upcoming rounds. So if you can get 1, 2, 3 kills, or even the spike plant or defuse, that's going to be a big deal towards your team. And I think if a lot of teams realize that more, we'd have a healthier mentality towards going into eco rounds.
Now, any rounds, however eco, buy, or whatever happens, 0 for Empire. They haven't had any luck whatsoever. They've tried multiple things already, but nothing has really done them any favors whatsoever. Dubstep's going to try to go around the corner here, and he survives. One is going to be challenging Humi once again, playing around that Bats area. Will Nexi be able to finally shut him down? I'm not sure what happened there. Bat Ghost does spot out Humi here, but that is a step in the right direction. Maybe a rotation to A. Nexi still lurking somewhere on B long. He doesn't have the bomb, but that opens up the possibility of more entry points, more opportunities for Empire to take any of the site that they want.
Yeah, and that ultimate is going to give them that information that they need. I do want to point out Stiletto has not been getting any luck here. He's been shot down and shocked down by recon bolts, and just everything has been going the enemy team's way. He just can't catch a break. I don't think he's gotten a kill yet, if I'm not mistaken. I think he has 1 kill this game, or maybe 2.
Yeah. This is definitely something that I think Empire have to try to break. I mean, obviously, Asteroida, but 7-0 already, and they need to find an entry point. Look at this crossfire they're going to be popping out. Nexi has to peek out the 1 already. The thing about it is, yeah, here it is, the party rocker. It is going to be the Brim ult. 1 peeking as well from the elbow side. Nexi has a challenge, but Dubstep immediately backs away, knows he has a 2 versus 1 scenario here. He has some time. They find his body. He was out in that pixel peak angle, and Dubstep would happily oblige to punish him for that positioning, and BREN deny any form of clutch. 8-0 in their advantage.
I think this is really where a team like BREN starts to shine. When it's a best of 5 and it's late into the game, they just won 2 in a row, and the enemy, they're wearing them down. When a team is so experienced like the team of BREN, one of the biggest advantages that they have isn't how good they aim. It's actually how strong they are mentally. Yeah. It's how good they hold on to that momentum. It's how good they hold on to that mindset that we are going to win this game. Because a lot of teams get tired. And I really feel like Empire Esports, they're showing signs of fatigue right now. They're making a few questionable decisions. I feel like it might have gotten to them, that they have gotten so close to beating BREN, but let it slip away from them like twice.
They're still doing what they can. They are able to get the short control if they would. Borgham's going to be coming from the other side here. The pinch play with Humi as well, who is playing the Bats connection. If they can get Borgham here, maybe they can rotate onto the B side. But you can see BREN is closing in from every single angle. There's Dubstep on market. There is more coming in from the pinch here, and they gotta be careful. Dispenser does have an operator, tries to pick up the rifle here, but that was just wishful thinking coming in from him, and Nexi steps up onto the plate. Jesse Bash, though, misses the shot, but here comes the recon, and Humi on the close encounter.
And they're close. They might not expect Humi here. Oh, he gets spotted out. Stiletto sees him and picks up the kill onto Humi, getting the first round onto Empire Esports' side. It's taken them 9 rounds, but they finally pick up 1. And Empire, this could be the start. You know, if it's gonna be anything, it's got to be a round like that builds up their confidence yet again, starts to snowball them. They just need some momentum shift. I swear, they need to call a timeout, something, anything to get some momentum, some wind in their sails. Because at the moment, a clutch like that, a round like that, it's good, but they need a little bit more.
Well, they hold themselves. It was an island where they were positioned. That was only short that they were playing in. Everybody else from BREN is circling like a bunch of sharks on a maroon island, but it seems like Empire was able to stand and survive. Nexi is getting flashed out of his brains, and he's getting peeked out down to 69 HP, wink wink, and it's going to be still the survival for Nexi there. BREN is going to be challenging. They want to keep these angles. They want to hold Empire to their own side of the map, and Empire just forfeit that B control and immediately look to the A side for hope once again.
Yeah, they are, once again, trying A, and this might actually be the best read that they have right now, but thing is, BREN, they're playing retake on A because they do have that order strike. Next he goes down. That's going to be Boomy getting, oh my god, almost gets him in the air right there. Stiletto almost drops, and he's going to be dropping. No one's looking his way. Dispenser almost finding 3. He finds 3 kills right there. Unable to find a 4th, but Bat goes, trades him out. And that's 2 players left standing on the Empire Esports side. Homie, what can you do? He almost finds a second adjustment. Flicks to the right, but Silver gets the better of him. 1v3 right now, and it's Silver against BREN. He's done crazy things before, but against BREN, what can he really do?
Finds one on Heaven. He has to find Dubstep, who is on the ground. This is very risky. He's going to play through his Blaze Wall for a little bit of that opportunity, but he is getting flushed out, and that nade doesn't do him any favors. 3 versus 1, like you said, Illustrato, 14 seconds on that timer, and he got no chance in this one. 6 bullets in the chamber. Peeks out, does not spot anybody, but he has to run or save, and I don't think he's going to be able to do both.
He's going to do neither, I feel like. It's going to be a matter of time before they triple peek him. Silver gets 1. And he does manage to save, actually. Sorry, scratch that. Should have never doubted you, Silver. Oh, that was dangerous for a second. 21 HP. He still survives. 9-1. And this is looking bad. It's an economic reset for the team of Empire. They don't have really much left on in the tank right here, or in the bank at all. Like, look, they have 2 Vandals and like a Judge, and what else? Nothing. A Sheriff.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. The pace definitely has slowed for the Empire team. Dax was saying this a while ago. They have to build their Empire strong. It seems like they are losing this one. Maybe they're one of those that can maybe net the comeback here, but it's very risky. And Humi, once again, will try to challenge. But here comes Batgos, again using that sonar location of his just to be able to challenge. And he opens up Silver as well, formerly known as Version. Keep the dream alive. It's 9-1, yes, but the numbers now favoring Empire in this 11th round.
Well, BREN esports, they're very much known to be able to play from behind as well as in front. So they can do all of it right now. I would feel confident if Empire found at least one more pick to maybe close out this round here. Question is, will they be able to as they make their way towards B? The spike's still a little bit of a ways away, so they're going to be trying to control the site here. Nexi, nice pickup right there onto Jesse Vash, and he's gonna be using his ultimate just to get a little bit more information. Dispenser expecting the player up close. He wins the duel, leaving 2 HP on himself, but it's still a 2v3. This is still possible for them.
Spike planted.
It's going to be possible, but they don't have the utility to make it that possible. We're down to like both of a Cypher as well as a Breach. Not really the best that you can try to use for that one, especially when Cypher has like 2 HP. And down to Borkum we go. Again, he can make magic, but with this, with the crossfire setup as well as the Cypher camera for free information and no damage taken, it's going to be very difficult. And he got tagged as well, so that's something to also note. This should go into Empire unless they royally screw this up, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I really don't think so here. Borkum has Vandal in a dream, and Silver will crush those dreams and throw him in the trash can and say, sorry, next time, maybe you should have went to art school. Nope, and it is 9-2 right now. They have at least picked up another round here, and the most important thing is they get this very last round, okay? They need the 9-3 if they want a chance at winning this at all.
I mean, this is Empire struggling on the attacking side. More so than not, we in the Filipino region, especially with other games that has been compared to Valorant, that has been modeled because that was modeled for Valorant. knows that Filipinos are better on the defending side. I think everybody's just better on the defending side, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen Empire do fantastic things, especially with Silver, coming outside of hookah when he's on the defending side. So maybe coming into that next one is going to be something to look forward to. But they need this other round.
Yeah, there's at least one early pick right now for Empire. This is good for them. Some utility will be deployed just to be able to force him back. Nexi gonna get that kill onto Jesse Vash, though. Dispenser looking to take it back, but nice shot from Draxi trying to open up the side. Humi has snuck in, though. They won't expect him, and Humi gets one, doesn't get another. And that's gonna be the 9-3 final score for the half. And Empire are biting back, and they're making this interesting. This is a good start for them. If they can win the pistol right now, and I'd say there's a fairly good chance, they can maybe make a comeback into this game.
We were talking about how it looked like, you know, Empire was a little bit fatigued, but they still calmed down a little bit. Even without the tactical pause, they were able to know, they were able to decipher that they had to just utilize a little bit of their utility to claim that B side ever so slowly. Silver activating his ultimate there, able to get that information that they needed in the back of sight without really risking the lives of Empire, and they just came in and they were able to reign and win. Now, that does give it a 9-3. We've shifted up the sides here, and maybe this pistol will go to the side of Empire, because what we said, that every single round aside from the first pistol of this game has been always a loss for BREN.
Oh, that's going to be the paint shell forcing them back. No, he's unable to use it, actually. And that's just going to be some map control exchange here. Decide to hold on to that utility a little bit longer, which might have been actually the best play for now in BREN Esports. They're going to be making their way pipelining towards the middle area. There's going to be 2 players on the receiving end of this. That's going to be the straight up hit now onto A. Will they expect all the resistance? Answer is no. Dubstep actually goes down to Draxi with that frenzy, but it's going to be traded out right there by Dispenser. They've held their place right there, and it's a good Molotov to slow down the pace of the attack, but they haven't broken through. The spike has not gone down yet. It should any minute right now. A little bit of hesitation prevents them from doing so. Stiletto just holding, waiting for the right time to use this paint shell. Hasn't been giving the signal yet because the flank is already in full effect right now. Silver, as well as Bad Ghost on the return here. On the flank, they actually get the pickups right there onto Borkum. Borkum gets that trade on the fadeaway for Silver.
Now it's going up to be to Stiletto to try to counter Jesse Vash with that big flank coming into A Heaven, and he does. That was fantastic from Empire here. One of the players that we have to put into the spotlight there definitely was Nexi. Yes, he didn't get a lot of kills, but his defense, his hold on the U-Haul area was paramount, because I keep telling this to everybody in the chat that if you get control of that U-Haul as the attackers, you basically get the back of a site. And when they couldn't, that was BREN already on the site, but not really with a lot of map control. Also allowing Draxi on pocket to make the damage work out, and they were able to dissect BREN as they come into the site. Works into the favor of Empire, because now 9-4. If you think about it, if they have another round, that's 9-5, and that big lead becomes even more bearable, even more digestible for the Empire team.
You know, honestly, big props to, no matter how this game goes, this best of 3 series, they could have actually won it. The scoreline 9-4, it's pretty good on them. Draxi holding close. He almost gets the double, but he manages to pick one up right there. And a nice paint shell for Stiletto, giving him a little bit of confidence. And a knife kill onto Dispenser. Silver gets the knife, and that's a very, very big deal. I want to see a replay of how that happened, if that's at all possible. But 9-5 right here, and BREN, they've lost the pistol yet again, and so Empire will capitalize on that mistake, giving only a 4-round advantage to themselves.
9-5, but this is the first rifle buy for BREN on the second half. Something, again, to point out, you got a lot more firepower, you got a lot more just ability to push onto the sites here, and BREN having the composition that they have, Empire's got to be careful, because if they try to go for a solo hookah player here and he gets flashed out and he gets pushed in, that basically deters everybody else. Silver is just going to go aggressive. This is 3 people already onto the corner, and he's going to be able to line it up with the 2. Okay, that's going to be a good enough change, a good enough trade, but BREN still has the numbers advantage. But Spencer, oh my goodness, pushes through the smoke, but Draxi was ready.
And I think they spotted both players right there. So that just means the full rotation towards B is an inevitability right now. And XD, He's going to get a little bit closer, but decides not to push all the way right now. That boombot is going to buy them a little bit of time. But Spike now going down towards B site means that the retake is on. And they're a little bit far removed from the situation, though I do think this retake is very much possible. There is a Molotov, and there is a little bit of an advantage in terms of the HP for Empire. So if they can get a quick kill right now onto either one of the BREN esports players, this retake is very, very, very likely.
Now, Spike has been planted. Both of Empire is going to be coming from the outer side of B hookah as well as B long. jcstani knows that somebody's going to be playing on that corner. He's going to get flambéed a little bit, but it's a 2 versus 1. And Draxi, can he step up to the plate? Not going to happen as Dubstep claims the 4K.
No way. That's just ridiculous. He's 9 HP and he's still alive. That's just, these are the rounds that I mean. This is what we were talking about like earlier. Like, there's no way they should be winning these rounds. Dubstep has no business winning a round like that, getting 4K, in which is a really ridiculous position, but he does anyway. You know, I think one of the things that makes a really top team is, you know, when they can make a round like that, just win rounds they should have no business winning, that's something special. And when we start to see that from teams like Empire Esports, then we start to see that there is going to be another contender for top in the country. But for now, BREN is really dominating.
Yeah, because again, if you're in that position when you're Draxi 2 versus 1, right? jcstani also picked out his recon dart, and what that means is that BREN knows the positioning of Draxi, but Draxi doesn't know the positioning of BREN. Peeking out from hookah, pushing out from hookah like that just to try to challenge the Spike defuse, right? Is all to his disadvantage because he doesn't really have the opportunity to try to play the position because they know his position, and that just, you know, just stacks difficulty upon difficulty on Draxi. And when you're up against Dubstep and jcstani, that's something that just does not work out for you.
Indeed. I do like this round from Empire, though, because look how far back they're playing. They're so passive, and they're rotating towards B where there's already a 3-man stack, so it's a pretty good idea on the part of Empire Esports. This might be a good hold from them, and look at all the information they've gotten with that Cypher. So Nexi actually found himself all the way there. Bad goes close range, gets the first kill, finds a second, looking for a third maybe. No, and they decide to fall back. Good hold onto this B long area. He's ready for any more, and that's gonna be Bad Ghost with a beautiful hold. Triple kill for him, and what a way to liven things up right there for Empire Esports.
Signs of breath, signs of life once again. It's not over till it's over, playa. And it seems like Bad Ghost, he doesn't really pop off from time to time, but when he does, he's able to do stuff like that. I like that he was boosted up on top of Garden there, because you saw the positioning of the crosshairs for BREN. They were all at head level if you were not boosted up. So that little bit of boost gave Bad Ghost a slight advantage because BREN had to readjust their aim and say, he's boosted up a little bit. You can't get the headshot if you peek out that normal angle, and it seems Bad Ghost was able to capitalize. Good job from him, and now 10-6, Empire still are alive, but BREN Esports already looking at 3 more rounds to win this game. They win the series, Illustrado.
Yeah, they might have a chance here, but that Hunter's Fury is going to miss the mark right now, but Silver is looking to deny the map presence, the pressure from mid. Still a recon dart available for Bat Ghost, so he might decide to use it just to get some more information for now towards mid. As a nice shot from long range coming out right here. They're able to clean things up. Bat Ghost and Silver with a duo. Now Nexi, they know where he is as well. Oh, swinging sideways, and Humi with a beautiful Sheriff shot. Draxi picks things up and puts them in the right place, but they've already lost a lot of players.
That's going to be the Bulldog here for jcstani. If he tries to plant this, one is already lurking around Yuhong. Nay backs away. And he's playing the fake game here. He's not planting just yet. He has 50 seconds on that timer, and he is waiting. He knows that he has that opportunity to fake something. If they heard that, oh, I'm curious. Did they hear him actually throw it out on B?
Yeah, I think so.
And they're rotating, but they're not going to get faked out. And Stiletto, he held his angle, and he's like, Bash, I know what you're doing, and you're not going to bamboozle me.
Yeah, you know what I think at the very end, 10-7 the scoreline, 3 rounds away. These games have been so close in the first 2, and including this one. This just means one thing. BREN has BREN probably, they've never really considered Empire all that much up until this point. But right now, they're looking at these guys like serious competitors, and for very good reason. This is the first time that Empire Esports has that anyone has defeated BREN Esports at anything. And they're really starting to shake things up. I can only imagine how good they'll be in a few months with a lot of time, you know? But towards B is where they will go. jcstani will be forced off the angle a little bit with that paint shell coming up right there. But towards B they go. Flash now coming in. Dispenser looking to open things up. He's in the front, leading the charge. And he's going to get that trade. No, it's Silver to prevail in the end. It's going to be the run it back right now. And Silver gets 3 kills from site, anchoring the site and his team. But jcstani right now turning things around. But Silver has 4 kills, looking for the ace. Can he get that? He runs out of his run it back and still is making his way towards the mid right now, retreating jcstani, and this is more or less around here for Empire Esports, unless they can, you know, sprinkle some of that BREN Esports magic yet again.
Did you guys know Vash posted, I think earlier today or was that yesterday, that he is Radiant 69? Yes, his rank is 69, legit. Let's see if he's going to be able to use that ranking of his, that ability of his to get high up into the leaderboards.
Wow.
Get that 1v3, and I'm pretty delayed to say it, but he's not able to make that happen. And honestly, that was actually a pretty out-of-sync play coming out from BREN. Charging up like that way too quickly without the ultimate doing much damage into the back of sight definitely did just did not work out in their favor. And I think production did say into my ear, he is ranked 55 already, so
55,
sad.
okay.
But still, he's getting higher and higher into, into the leaderboards.
I think it's kind of like golf, though. The higher you score, the better, right? No?
No.
Oh, wait, that's not how you play golf. No, I
don't know how to play golf, man. I'm not cultured enough.
I suck at that. Anyway, Draxi now holding A. He does have the orbital strike, will be forced out of his position. And he might be taken down anytime soon. He gets spotted. He's going to get spammed away. He's going to be defended by Silver. Good backup onto his team. Well placed. Good coordination right now for Empire on their defense. Draxi yet again will be forced to fall back right now. Still has to fall back because he wants to use that orbital strike. And now it's time to go down right here. And I think they're going to get that kill onto jcstani. No, he somehow is still alive. The orbital strike is just a little bit off axis.
Well, he used the Ben 10, man. He went for the Omnitrix, and it popped out, forces them back away, but still the plant will reign true. Dubstep has the bucket range, and this is looking pretty damn risky because everybody else from BREN is doing that 2-for on U-Haul here. Nexi able to deal with the 1, but there's still 1. Dubstep there, Gorkum coming out. There's nothing to flash away, but the Molly! I was just about to say, where is Humi? And there's the Molly.
Yeah, that's the Molly coming out, and this is most likely going to be a BREN round unless they can pull out some magic. Dubstep finding all the luck with that Bucky! And these are the rounds they have no business winning. Yet again, Dubstep with a Bucky. What?
He was at U-Haul, so the Bucky, at every single angle, at the farthest angle that you have in U-Haul, the right click just hits at the perfect range that it actually one-shots you if you're a good enough aim. And Dubstep obviously is a good enough aim. That's why he's the sniper player. And in a sense, Bucky is kind of like...
It's broken.
Yeah, it's like a sniper at mid-range. It's ridiculous. Like people, chat might actually flare up on me, but that's how I kind of view it, and it's ridiculous. And Riot has to try to do something about it because it's range, like you said, it's just unfair.
Chat. Asarai says that the Bucky's a sniper. Quote him on this.
Mid-range. Mid-range, okay?
All right. This is why you suck at opping, bro. I'm just kidding.
I'm a rifler anyways, man. It's fine.
Yeah, fair enough, but Draxi, he's in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to get pushed out yet again, and Dubstep finds the opening kill onto Draxi. Once more, he will control you. Stiletto will get the kill onto Dubstep in response. Throws out the paint shell to be able to clear a little bit more in terms of angles, but look at where they found each other. Dispenser just getting the timing onto Silver, and that's a very, very important kill to find right now. He also gives up the ultimate to that Cypher. See what they can do on the back of that play right now. A lot of information for BREN. What can they do with it? And the spike is going to go down towards A.
They immediately know that nobody is playing that U-Haul area. The triple smoke just to get that plant down! Nexi, how does he find those? Where was he even looking? Was the spherical smoke not enough to block the vision of Nexi? I think yes, and now from a 4 versus 3, a 3 versus 2. But Humi, once again, they have to chase this man down because he got the lineups. And now it is looking dire straits. There's the flames on the spike, and Nexi opens stuff up, but his teammates could not follow through. I don't think there's going to be a chance here, but maybe, just maybe, he can.
No, never mind. Strike. That's going to be it. Although, it's a nice attempt, a nice couple of shots there by Nexi. Very sexy indeed. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to close out the round for him. I feel like they overcommitted to the peak and mid. If I'm going to say Empire, they could have just covered the spike diffuser, and then that would have been enough, I think. But
no, because like Molly plus Orbital, so they had to chase.
They had to find the brim. You're right. they had to find the brim, and they overcommitted to it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So they really had to, because again, they were pressed for time. Yeah, granted, Nexi got 2 amazing kills on a Heaven, but the positioning, the distance of every single member of Empire was far away, and they had to still run up and clear out the angles going up to the spike. When they knew where Bren was, there wasn't really enough time for them to play, you know, they play a little bit of the Nancy Pansy and try to just slow peek, slow retake. They can't. They had to go for that quick retake unless they wanted Wumi to do the Brim unfair plays once again. I mean, it's a play, it works, but it's just ridiculously difficult to try to counter. And let's see if he's going to be able to dodge this one out as the Hunter's Fury comes and gets a kill onto Silver. The big fragger, but Stiletto steps up with the kill on Dubstep.
That's a hard kill to find. That's an important double kill for Stiletto right there. He's going to be pushed off the angle. No, he's going to stay put. His location is compromised, though. Any peek he does is very, very dangerous. The shock darts are getting very close to landing to him right now. And Stiletto almost gets that shot. Jesse Vash gets it instead, and it's still a 3v3 doable comeback right now for Empire Esports. They've done well to come back this far. And I think it's still very much in the books that they can take this 12-9, excuse me.
Where's the spike, actually? They can pick it up on Hookah if they wanted to, and Bad goes once again. Okay, signs of life on the man himself. Nexi knows one is here. He doesn't miss those. He doesn't lose those, but Dispenser is here to step up onto the plate, leaving it all to Draxi, the man, a hope, a dream. He spots out the one, but notice that Spencer is onto the site in the 1 versus 1. He spots him, but not going to be able to do it. The 3K onto the Lurker, and that is going to be it. GG for the Grand Finals.
That is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. BREN Esports are, without a shadow of a doubt, in a 3-0 spectacular fashion, going to be the champions here today. They'll be advancing towards week 2, where they will have the #1 seed and have a pretty fairly good chance right now at being your representatives for the Masters, the first representatives. But remember, the Philippines actually had 2 representatives for Masters, so if Empire can keep this up, you know, I'd say the odds are very much likely here. And just look at that. It's a little bit of a flex from the Dispenser side. And he's showing off those guns. Gun show.
Damn.
The double gun show.